for Lee Clifton. In his 8th season as head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish Blue Colts.
ABC Sports College Football presents the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Wolverines of Michigan. Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson, and welcome again to college football on ABC Sports, the top end of a triple header from Ann Arbor. They played the first game back in 1927 here at this big old stadium against Ohio Wesleyan. Today, they will play game number 400 in the massive oval, and the opposition is Notre Dame. The crowds are bigger, the stakes are obviously higher. Today, we should find out if Michigan is going to be a credible challenger for a national championship. And for Notre Dame, it could be a sanctuary just to get inside the stadium, in a game, and away from the Wolves that have been nipping at their heels for the last couple of weeks and all the distractions that have been swirling around them. So it's an interesting day today at ABC Sports, starting in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Now let's join John Saunders, our ABC studios in New York.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. And we will take you out to the kickoff of the triple header in just a moment. But first, news from Texas A&M. 5 players have been suspended by the NCAA, allegedly taking money for work they did not perform in a summer job. Greg Hill gets 5 games, the running back. More on this at halftime in the Prudential Halftime Report. This is one of the games we'll be covering as they go up against Oklahoma. Scores and highlights as well. But first, here's a word of what's new in the world of sports, science, and technology.
Here at Notre Dame, Michigan in Ann Arbor at 3:30 on ABC Sports tonight in prime time at 8 o'clock Eastern time. You've got the Washington Huskies and the Ohio State Buckeyes. And Bob Greasy, there are a lot of keys hanging in the cupboard to rattle about this ball game. Let's talk about some of them.
Well, a couple of the big ones. First of all, both teams strong defensively, and both teams lost 7 starters on offense from last year. For Notre Dame, they lost their entire backfield, including Rick Meyer. Quarterback Kevin McDougal takes over. He cannot win this game by himself. Notre Dame offensively in the backfield, they're set. Their offensive line is the question mark there. They lost 5 starters in the offensive line from last year's ball club. That offensive line needs to control a very tough and physical Notre Dame defensive line.
These are the 2 winningest teams in major college football history. 114 seasons for Michigan, 105 seasons for Notre Dame. To begin as Remy Hamilton, number 19, will kick off for the dark-shirted homestanding Michigan Wolverines against the traveling Irish of Notre Dame. Wearing the white shirts, number 6 is the deep man. That is Mike Miller, the junior out of Texas. He's a flyer. The kick is high, and it's to the goal line. And here comes Miller, trying to bounce outside. Can't get away, and he is pulled down just across the 15-yard line at the 17. And so the Irish will come to the attack now with Kevin McDougal. His career numbers are there. His 2nd career start. In the backfield behind him at tailback will be Beckton. Ray Zellers at fullback, and the key man outside at a wide position is Lake Dawson. He is number 87, and he has to be a prominent figure in the Irish offense, one would think, today. Clint Johnson, number 8, is a speedster. He'll line up at a flanker spot. And here's your fullback. Zellers carrying, but a penalty flag comes out of the linesman's pocket before the ball is snapped, as Henderson gets the first hit of the ball game. The referee today is Tom Quinn, a veteran in the Big Ten. He's a good one.
Dead ball, defense encroachment, contact.
So Michigan wound up pretty tight, commits the first mistake of the ball game. Don Serra, the umpire, Tom Ranson, Morris Sherrins, Roger Paramore, Mark Sheehan, and Tom Herbert make up the respective group of men in the striped shirts. So the Irish pick up 5 yards on the contact of encroachment by the Michigan defense, and it's 1st and 5. McDougal pitches to the tailback, Beckton. He turns upfield for 3. The offensive front for Notre Dame is a good one. Anchored by Tim Ruddy. The two people in the yellow there, Zadameski and Leahy, they are the new people. Taylor, Ruddy, Norman, they're the experienced veterans and the bell cows of this offensive football team. But the new people have to step up today and be counted against the Michigan Wolverines. The chains are on the field to see whether or not Beckton had picked up the first down. Not quite. They play on real grass, the prescription turf here at Michigan Stadium, but I think you will be able to discern it has not been a big growing season for grass on the floor of the massive oval. Lou Holtz, his record during his career at Notre Dame against Michigan is on the plus side at 4-2-1. Second down and inches, and the Irish will come with two tight ends. Out of the I formation, probably McDougal, and I think Notre Dame jumped the gun. On the right side of center, it looked to me like Leahy might have had a little bit of a start. So let's see about the penalty call here. It may give that 5 yards back to Michigan.
Looked like it may have been the nose tackle, Keith. Henderson may have jumped.
Could have been.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the defense. It's contact.
The contact was made by Henderson, and then Leahy was triggered by it. So again, the Michigan defense can't stand the weight.
Well, you would think that the man right in front of the ball would be able to wait till it was snapped, but by the opposite is true also. He is the one that is affected the most by the cadence of the quarterback because he can hear it and be affected by it.
He is so jacked up, though, and taking him out of the ball game to calm him down a little bit.
Settle down.
Jason Horn steps in to replace him. The Irish get a first down out of it, and here's Beckton breaking through, finding a hole over the left side. And he got that hole behind Zadaveski and Taylor, with Ruddy having a seal block on the man in the middle, Horn. And so that little bit of anxiety by the Michigan starting nose tackle may have been very costly because of that run.
New wrinkle, Keith. Two wide receivers over here and an unbalanced line. This is something that Michigan was not expecting to see this early. Holtz will pull out all of his little wrinkles, all of his little tricks. Played it very vanilla last week against Northwestern. Didn't do a lot of things, but he'll use them all today.
They blew Horn right out of there. They go to Zellers, and Zellers will have a yard, and that's about all. He's a 218-pound junior from Pittsburgh, and the Irish getting up near midfield now. The defensive front for Michigan is Dudler, Stanley, Henderson, and Aga Khan. There's some experience there. Steve Morrison is the ringleader of the linebacking corps, which is new and relatively young. The secondary is very good, with Shante Peoples, the big hitter back there, but they're all good. Morrison, number 36, patrolling that area just behind the line of scrimmage on second down. The pitch comes back to Zellers, the fullback. There was penetration past the line of scrimmage by number 94, Jason Horn, and the sophomore from Lafayette, Indiana, got a piece of him, and it'll be third down and 6 from midfield.
Notre Dame has rushed every play that they've had it in this ball game, and this is take a look at what they did last year. Yards per game, 281. Last week against Northwestern, not very good. Holmes has said this year that this offense to protect McDougal might be a boring offense.
Nickelback is in now for Michigan as they take out a lineman, put in an extra DB, and McDougal drops on third down and 6 and goes to the near sideline. The pass is caught by Lee Beckton, and he's going to have a first down for the Fighting Irish down near the Michigan 43-yard line.
Nice play by McDougal on his first pass. Michigan, not known to be a blitzing team, comes with the blitz. Here are the linebackers. Watch the linebackers as all three of them come after the second start. McDougal's only second start. Sees it, backs up, knows where he has his man, and gets him the ball, and it's another first down for the Irish.
Ball is just short of the 43. McDougal, a senior from Pompano Beach, Florida. Keeps the ball on an option to the open side of the field and turns the corner. Gets a big hole. On his way! Option play, run perfectly. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
our right. 3 linemen over there. McDougal had just completed his first pass of the ball game. Very confident player. Good blocking downfield by Mays, number 1. And McDougal puts the Irish ahead.
Pendergast for the extra point try. McDougal, the quarterback, is in the hole. Low snap, comes bouncing back. He handles it, and the kick is good. And so with 11:55 to go in the first quarter, the Irish go to the lead. The option play. Anytime you see a Lou Holtz football team on the field, you know they've got it in the book.
Boy, are you sure true about that? And a little bit different team, Notre Dame, from last week against Notre Dame, huh?
A little bit. Mercury Hayes, number 9, is a sophomore out of Houston, Texas, a wide receiver. Number 6 is Tyrone Wheatley, the starting tailback and one of the better running backs in the country. They are the deep people for the University of Michigan Wolverines, who have been slapped upside the head with an early Notre Dame touchdown. 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and the Irish are in the end zone. And here's the kickoff by Pendergast. He carries to the end zone, carries beyond, and it'll be Michigan ball, first down and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Take one more look at that touchdown. Watch 36, Morrison, the inside linebacker. He is the man that is responsible to fill the gap. Zellers does not make the block. He slipped, got just enough of him. Morrison tripped up, didn't make the play, and if one man misses and everybody else gets their blocks, this is what can happen.
The quarterback for the Wolverines is Todd Collins. He's a big fella, 6'5", 229, and a junior from Walpole, Massachusetts. And they're huddled over here on the sidelines. They don't have an offensive team out on the field as yet, and they have started the clock. And they're going to go with no huddle. And they're racing the clock to see whether or not they get the play off. So here comes Gary Moeller with a wrinkle. On first down from the 20, no huddle. Collins back, looks to throw, pass away, pass complete, pass for 30. And it's a first down as Amani Toomer makes the catch for the Wolverines. There is Todd Collins making his 4th career start, 2 last year and 2 this year. He is the man this year. And you can certainly see that he's rolled up the touchdown. He's exercised opportunity, I think is fair to say, and the amount of time given to him.
You couldn't have done it much better in the time you've given him.
Right. 31-yard line. They put Hayes in motion. Hayes caught 8 passes last week against Washington State. This is Tyrone Wheatley, and Wheatley is literally gang tackled as he comes to the line of scrimmage with Hamilton and Gibson making the hits. Wheatley could be the considerable object of attention by the Irish defense today. The rest of them, the wideouts at Michigan, there are 5 of them. They're outstanding, but Derek Alexander I don't think will play today because of a sore ankle.
Even though Michigan is very deep in wide receivers, you mentioned, they will miss Alexander. He is something special.
It is second down and 10 from just beyond the 31-yard line, with Notre Dame leading early on in the ball game 7-0. During a 4-man front, Collins back to throw again. Gets it away to Wheatley out of the backfield. He takes a look at all the white shirts around him and drops the ball. So it'll be third down and 10. The offensive front for the Michigan Wolverines, and here's where the doubt and wonder is. Here's where the development has to occur. Mark Milia moves in at the center position. John Runyon steps in at a tackle position. He's a redshirt freshman. So that's the area that's got to grow for Michigan.
Talented players, Keith, but all inexperienced at offensive line.
We've got a lot of motion with Smith number 2. Ball rolls away from the quarterback. Flags all over the field.
Flag stopped the play.
Burkholder looked to be the man that caused the flags and the whistles as he jumped around.
Offense on. Dead ball. Ball start. Offense.
So everybody's wound pretty tight. That's the 3rd penalty on the Michigan Wolverines. The first two came on the defensive side of the ball and literally got Notre Dame rolling. Bryant Young is the ringleader along that front for the Irish of Notre Dame. He's very good, but they're all good. Pete Bursic. Now Peter makes a lot of noise at that linebacking position. And Jeff Burris is still playing at 5 different positions if needed on both sides of the ball. He's quite exceptional. Smith goes in motion, and Collins goes back and throws. The pass is caught. The pass is right on the numbers to Amani Toomer, his second catch of the ball game, and the second catch is also good for a second first down.
Notre Dame style. Take a look at the pass rush. Notre Dame style is deep zone. Don't give any big plays. Square ends like this one should be good most of the day. There's a receiver going to go down and break to the inside. Nice throw by Collins.
He's very decisive, isn't he?
Very active passer.
Yes, he is. He just nails it right in there. Ball given to Wheatley, sweeping to the left side, finds some room to the Irish 40, and down to the Notre Dame 39, and that's a first down. And there was some good blocking coming around that left corner with John Runyon and Marinaro and Melia and Sean Miller. John Runyon, the redshirt freshman, is man-sized, I'll tell you, 6'8" and 295 from Flint.
He's making his first start. There's a look at Marinaro, the right guard. He's making his second start at the University of Michigan.
So it's first down, Wolverines at the Irish 39. And Pierre Cooper, another freshman, goes in motion. Ball given to Wheatley. Great balance. Wheatley, a big man at 226 pounds. Moves for about 7 yards. Now here's Jackaroo.
Well, Keith, if you want to measure emotion, it started during pregame warm-ups. And the team that seemed to win the emotional battle was the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. In very generalized terms, they were hitting hard and they were letting off a lot of steam. Maybe the thing to remember is something one of the trainers told me as he went back in the tunnel. He said, remember, all of the controversy that swirled around this team has surrounded one Lou Holtz, not the players. They're sky high.
It's second down and 3 for Michigan. Here's Wheatley again, coming to the left side. This time the pursuit a little better, but there's the talent of Wheatley. He just simply took that one extra long stride, got past the defender, and picked up a first down. Ronaldo Wynn had him in his sights, and Wheatley just stepped right by him.
You know, Keith, to expand on what Jack was talking about, the nerves early in the game seem to be on the side of the home team, Michigan. And sometimes when you're playing at home in front of a big crowd, the expectations are there for you, a big favorite, that will happen to you. The road team, if they're gathered together correctly, make it calm down.
Ed Davis, sophomore, checks in at tailback, number 26, and goes in motion. No backs. Collins to throw. Good protection. Passes away. Pass is completed down to the 20-yard line to Pierre Cooper, 6'2", 225, a freshman from Alief, Texas. And I didn't know where it was either, folks. It's a suburb of Houston.
Bursic, number 47, at inside linebacker, reads pass, drops back into his zone. Cooper fights off of him. Ball's thrown away to the outside, away from Bursic, who makes the tackle.
Ricky Powers checks into the backfield now for Michigan, and Ed Davis comes out. It is second down and 3 for the Wolverines, with Notre Dame leading in the early going 7-0. Ball goes to Powers, and Powers, a co-captain, a senior, hammers to the 15-yard line. Gary Moeller, who has had exceptional athletes at Michigan, and he has done something with them. His record is truly outstanding. He's put his name already into the Michigan history books with the likes of Chrysler and Schembechler and Yost. Tyrone Wheatley from Dearborn Heights. He is a junior. He's back in the ball game at tailback. First down just inside the 15. This is Wheatley. Sees a little crack, cuts back to it, runs into Oliver Gibson, number 55.
Oliver Gibson made the tackle.
7 minutes and 55 seconds remaining to play in the first quarter. Notre Dame scoring in the initial possession, helped mightily by 2 penalties against the Michigan defense.
Keith, I think the emotional battle that is involved in here early in the ball game, it's important for Michigan to come out of this drive with at least 3 points to kind of gain some of the momentum back that Notre Dame took with their first drive.
Second down and 9. Shea Foster lines up in front of Ricky Powers. Collins is blindsided by Bobby Taylor. Taylor blitzing off the corner. The quarterback really nailed it. Nobody stepped up to protect the quarterback.
This looks like a normal setting over here. The corner is up there just to cover the back. But watch, when the ball is snapped, the corner comes and blitzes. Collins has got to see this. If he knows they're going to use something like this, this is probably something they haven't used this season. Obviously, they didn't need it against Northwestern. That's a very nice move defensively by Rick Menard, the coordinator.
Trips to the top of the picture. 3 wideouts with Wheatley. The single back to Collins on 3rd down and 15. Gets his pass away underneath. Not much there to Walter Smith as he's taken down just about the original line of scrimmage in this possession. And it is going to be 4th down.
One big defensive play. That sack of Collins on 2nd down stopped the drive and is going to force Michigan to go for the field goal.
Peter Elezovic will be in. He is a senior from Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Field goal attempt from the 22-yard
He had a 24-yard field goal a week ago. The hold is Jay Reamer-Smott. It's a 32-yard try. It's good. At 6:03 to go in the first quarter. Both teams are on the board. Notre Dame leading 7-3. On ABC Sports, Brooklyn will kick it off for Michigan. And Mike Miller deep to receive it will be Irish. 7-3. Notre Dame in front. 6:03 to play in the first quarter. Well, circles, drops it at the 2. Down at the 12. Emphatically brought down by pursuit of Michigan downfield. Monday night, Cleveland, the dog pound. Bernie Kosar leading the Browns against the San Francisco 49ers. Steve Young back. Thumb healed quickly. Both teams winners opening day. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
Isn't that where Monday Night Football all began, Keith?
Yes, it did.
Cleveland,
1970.
old Cleveland Stadium. That place is something special.
Hot, muggy night. Jets and the Browns. Kevin McDougal, the quarterback, going to put it deep. Got a man wide open. Pass is completed across midfield to Clint Johnson. So Notre Dame comes out shooting all the gun.
Tackle made by Sunday People.
Great call by Lou Holtz. Typical, they ran most of the first drive going down. Now he says first play, you're backed up. They're not going to be looking for a pass. Just as a streak. Quarterback just throws as far as he can. Great speed on the outside. That is a huge play getting them out of the hole.
43-yard play. And it's a first down at the Michigan 45-yard line. Ray Zellers, the fullback, with it. And he'll pick up a couple of yards. Now here's John Saunders.
Carried by Ray.
Keith, #1 team in the nation, led by Charlie Ward. 8 of 9 for 74 yards on this drive. Ward to Sean Jackson, 3 yards, 10 plays, 91 yards. They lead Clemson 7-0. Keith.
And they're talking about Florida State in this neck of the woods because they perceive that the team that is your principal leader in the chase for the national championship would be the Seminoles. They got ideas here, but they've got to get themselves untracked pretty quick. At this point, the South Bend is looking to put a big hurt on them in this ball game. There are 2 Notre Dame receivers going downfield, both covered very well, both running in the same neighborhood. And that pass falls away incomplete as Alfie Birch defended against Clint Johnson. I got a hunch somebody got in the wrong place at the wrong time there.
The play calling by Holtz and his staff has really got Michigan just unsettled defensively, because he is thrown deep in his own territory. He has established the option which all defensive coordinators have to be concerned about. And he has done a very good job early in this game of mixing his plays.
Clarence Thompson, number 17, checks in as the nickelback on 3rd down and 8. McDougal, quick drop, sets up, good protection, passes away to the sideline. Pass is caught. It is caught by Lake Dawson. Tremendous effort by Dawson to go up and get the ball. The senior from Federal Way, Washington.
Behind the defense, this is just a great throw. McDougal down the sideline, between two defenders. This ball has got to be thrown perfectly, and Dawson makes a great play.
And Michigan's digging itself a hole. First down, Notre Dame, just inside the Wolverines' 12-yard line. Beckton is the deep back. He's got the ball. Bounces off the tackler, turns it back inside, and picks up about 5 yards on a tough carry.
Impressed early on, Keith, with the throwing ability of McDougal. Game last week against Northwestern, he threw the ball very well, and he's continued that string here today.
But in the chess game, the Michigan defense has just been whipped so far as the guesswork goes. Who's where and who's doing what. And right now, that side or that margin goes to Notre Dame. They have been just a little bit ahead as they go to the full house backfield and hand the ball off to Jeff Burris, number 9. Remember now, we told you that he plays free safety, but he also comes into the goal line offense. And in his career at Notre Dame, he's played 5 positions. And he just carried the ball. It is 3rd down and 3. The ball is resting at the Michigan 4.
He's just flat out a good athlete.
Yeah, he really is.
And you want your good athlete.
It's Travis Davis now joining Beckton and Zellers for Notre Dame. Here comes McDougal on an option, and that was not a good call. Michigan was looking for that one, and they ate it up. Jason Horn, 94, Buster Stanley, 60, leading on the play.
This is the problem with not having an experienced quarterback. It's a conservative call. Of course, the option is one of Holtz's favorite things. Notre Dame expecting it, especially from a full house backfield. Normally on 3rd down, you spread them out, throw the ball in the end zone.
And this may give the Michigan defense a bit of a lift now, as the Irish will settle for a 24-yard field goal try. Pendergast roots it up and gets it across. And at 2:36 to go in the first quarter, the Irish lead 10-3. Notre Dame came to Ann Arbor. The Irish won the ball game 35-12 as Angelo Bertelli, the quarterback, had a big day and would become the first of 7 Notre Dame players to win the Heisman Trophy. The Irish went on to win a national championship, the first of the AP polls. Tyrone Wheatley, the junior from Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Everybody knew that one of the things Notre Dame would have to do would be shut him down. Well, so far, they have done a reasonably good job. But he is resourceful. He is a big man who can flat run. And there's an example of it right there as he bolts all the way across the 40-yard line and gives Michigan good field position to start this possession, their second.
They're kind of getting used to that around here. Last week against Washington State, he returned a kickoff over 50 yards, the opening kickoff. Watch as the Michigan players slide over to the right side to try to form the wall right there. Breaks a tackle and just gets nipped off 40 yards on the return.
And first down Wolverines at the 42. Wheatley stays in after the run. Double wide to the bottom of the picture. Eric Alexander, sore ankle, probably won't play today. Wheatley cuts it over the right side, and that sudden burst of speed once he hits the hole, and he picks up 7-8 yards before you can take a breath. Pete Bursich on the tackle for the Irish.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Ball at the
Kevin
49.
McDougal getting some extra tape on his wrist. Baylor, the #2 quarterback for Notre Dame, hurt his hand, hit a helmet with his throwing hand on Thursday, but he was throwing the ball quite well today in the pregame warm-up. On second down, Collins lets it go to the sideline, has a man, pass caught by Toomer. That's his 3rd catch of the ball game, and each catch has produced a first down for Michigan.
That's just pitch and catch, just the split receiver on the short side of the field, running a little out in front of the defensive back, and Collins has the ball right there for him.
Smith comes out, and Cooper, a tight end, goes in to the ball game. Replacing him, you've got Mercury Hayes, #9, the speedster, to the top of the picture. Coming back toward the crowd. Anybody named Mercury, you got to look at him at least twice. This is a first down as Tyrone Wheatley runs the football down to the Notre Dame 26-yard line. John Covington finally brought him down. And it would take a Covington to do it. John at 6'1", 211, a senior, has at times played linebacker and in defensively.
Offensive line was critical, we said, coming in. That time a big hole. Impressive thing about Wheatley, he doesn't go down with the first tackle, the first man that hits him. He's big, he's strong, and he still has the speed to break away.
49 yards on 7 carries for Wheatley, and first down, Michigan. Notre Dame leading 10-3. Wheatley again held up at the line of scrimmage and then slides back to the left side and behind the surge. Will pick up about 3 yards. Just one day till Super Sunday and the premiere of one of the shows you've been waiting for, Lois and Clark. That's at Lois, yes. The New Adventures of Superman premieres tomorrow night on ABC at 8/7 Central. Inside a minute to go now in the first quarter. And second down and 7. Wheatley behind the line of scrimmage, and they bury him. Jim Flanagan, 44, is the man who made that play. The big senior from Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin.
Flanagan, Keith, just has too much speed for that play. Former linebacker, number 44, moved to defensive end, just chased that down when the tackle in front of him pulled away. He just followed him and caught him.
Looks like Michigan may let the clock run out here at the end of the first quarter with the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame leading the home team by a score of 10-3. And the crowd well over 100,000. So the first quarter is done.
Plays about the same. The impressive thing to me, Notre Dame total yards 154, pretty well balanced, rushing 72, passing 82. For Michigan, balanced also. No turnovers, been a good clean first quarter. Both teams have had the ball twice. Notre Dame scored a touchdown and a field goal. Michigan's first possession, a field goal. Big third down play coming up here.
Well, I think in summary of the first quarter is Lou slicked them.
He had all those good plays stored up, and he used them, and all of them worked.
Third down and 9 for Michigan from just inside the 27 of Notre Dame. That's Mercury Hayes going in motion. Collins getting pressure, ball thrown to Hayes, and he's taken down by Brian Hamilton right about the line of scrimmage. So there was nothing there. They were trying to set up a wide receiver screen coming back into the middle of the field, and the Irish just buried it.
Michigan went to the sideline to talk about the play, but Notre Dame also came out in a 5-man defensive line and sent 5 men rushing against that young offensive line and put pressure on Collins.
Elezovic is into the ball game for a field goal try. He hit one from 32 yards. They're going to put this one down at the 33. So it's a 43-yard try. No pressure, but he didn't get much foot on it. And it looked like he might have taken a piece of turf with it. Just didn't hit it. And it's well short. Did he hit it fat? Yep. Yes, he did. He hit behind the ball. And on real grass, you can't do that. And it is no good. And the Notre Dame defense goes prancing off the field. And the offense comes back to take over the ball. First down just outside their own 25-yard line. Just starting the second quarter of play. Notre Dame leading 10-3. Johnson and Dawson are your wideouts. Beckton is the deep man. Has the ball. Number 4. Good run by Lee Beckton. He's not a speedster. He's not a burner. But he's a very resourceful, very tough guy who goes and gets what is needed. 190-pound junior out of Ernle, North Carolina. Put the ball just short of the 35, and he almost picked up 10 yards on that carry. Florida State out 10-0 now over Clemson in an ACC game. Second and short. Give it to the fullback. Zellers. Just depends on the mark because Steve Morrison led the defensive surge, and Morrison, Peoples, and others just tattooed him. But depends on the mark. These are ball games that are happening as the day wears on. That Georgia-Tennessee game will be an interesting ball game. And certainly USC-Penn State will tell us something about the Nittany Lions. That's at State College. Long trip for the Trojans, who rebounded against Houston last week. I guess they want to see some change, or we've got a timeout spent. Got a timeout called on the field with 13:05 to go in the first half, and Notre Dame leading. There are the real numbers that matter in the ball game. First half of play. Ball set's just outside the 35-yard line. It's first down for Notre Dame. And so far, Michigan has generated no pressure at all on McDougal, the Irish quarterback. He's back, sets up the throw, has plenty of time, goes deep down the field. The pass is long and incomplete. Intended for Derek Mays, a sophomore from Indianapolis. So that was a post pattern. Just zip it down the field and try to outrun him, but Mays never had a chance.
Holtz sends in the plays. He calls them himself. He's not going to do what you expect him to do. If it's third and long, he may not pass. If it's first and 10 in a good running situation, you want to throw. What he did just then, Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator, said yesterday when I was talking to him, Lou Holtz is the unknown in this whole thing.
Second and 10, give the ball to the tailback, Beckton. And Beckton, though hit just over the line of scrimmage, just keeps on bumping along and picks up 4 yards. And it'll be third down and 6.
Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator, I was kidding him yesterday. I said, geez, your job is easy this year. There's no Rick Meyer quarterback. Tom Bettis was a #1 draft choice. He's gone. Reggie Brooks is gone. And Irv Smith, their tight end, is gone. So your job is easy. He just laughed and he said, Lou Holtz will find a way, and he has the first quarter.
Crowd gets into it on 3rd and 6. McDougal, this time he gets a little pressure. They're trying to set up a screen for Beckton, and Beckton slips and he's out of the play, and here's John Saunders.
Keith, Bobby Bowden says he hears wide right on the golf course when he misses a putt. So he went out and he got this kicker, Scott Bentley. This 47 yards, the longest of his brief career. He's just a freshman. Actually thought about going to Notre Dame where his father was. 10-0 right now the score. Keith.
He thought about going to Notre Dame because his daddy is a Notre Dame graduate.
Uh-huh.
He also had a miserable week in the mud last week. A little dose of humility. Snap is low. The kick is out of there by Leonard with Mercury Hayes standing back deep. Ball takes a Notre Dame bounce. Hayes should have picked it up. Hayes is standing up on the 20-yard line. Let the ball bounce right by him, and Notre Dame's going to put it down all the way back on the Michigan 7.
20-yard bounce.
Yep. Catch the ball, son. The 3:30 games here on ABC Sports. Next week we'll have a big one down in the Southeastern Conference. Penn State's first trip to Iowa City as a member of the Big Ten. Nebraska, which has just been steamrollering people out to the West Coast against UCLA. Syracuse, Texas, an interesting ball game, and Marshall Faulk at San Diego State against the Air Force Academy. That is next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 Pacific Time. And if you want to watch some of those games that are being covered by ABC Sports, simply call your cable operator and find out if it's on pay-per-view available to you in your area. Pitch comes back to Tyrone Wheatley from the 7-yard line, and Notre Dame, this again here is a typical Holtz credo. If you got him pinned up, jump on him. Don't let him get out of there. That translates into field position.
Notre Dame had a little luck, the luck of the Irish on that punt. It was an awful punt. Hit the ground so far forward that the receiver couldn't get up to make the play. And it rolled 20 to 25 yards and really backed Michigan up inside their 10-yard line.
And it's 2nd down and 10. Collins to Wheatley again. Tyrone's looking around for some kind of a crack. Gets a little bit just over the 10-yard line, and they'll be looking at 3rd and long. That offensive front, Runyon, Miller, Amelia, Marinaro, and Sullivan.
There's a look at the offensive line from behind, a little draw play, set, show pass, no big holes in there. Defensive line for Notre Dame holding their ground. Wheatley says there's not much there. Let me get up and get down.
3rd down and 6. Collins got some trouble, gets it away. That won't work. That's thrown in the crowd.
They threw it away. A little blitz coming from the outside.
If he'd looked the other way, I think he might have seen Tyrone Wheatley sitting out there kind of lonely.
I think the whole thing about that series for Michigan, Keith, was the punt that really backed them up inside the 10. If they would have taken over around their 25 or 30-yard line, you got a little bit more room to work.
Well, you got to catch the ball and take the punishment on a play like that. You know you're going to get leveled, but so what? It's part of the game, isn't it? Chris Stapleton in the punt. Penalty flag down as Stapleton hits a beauty. Comes out to Miller back at the 44. Miller wants to run. And he's running, and he's running, but remember, there is a penalty flag back along the line of scrimmage. Let's see who the flag was thrown against. Watch the man in the white hat. If it's against Michigan, it's a Notre Dame touchdown. Special teams, special teams, special teams. Tom Quinn.
Ball, illegal procedure on the offense. Only 6 men on line of scrimmage.
Touchdown, Notre Dame. 56-yard punt return.
In the last 7 years under Holtz at Notre Dame, 18 kicks now have been returned for a touchdown.
Ken DeGast will try the point. Good. 10-17 play in the first half. And Notre Dame leads now by 14 points. '86, Michigan was down in South Bend. And after a Michigan fumble, Notre Dame put the ball into Michigan territory. Irish kicker John Carney missed a 45-yarder. Michigan went home with a win, 24-23. Right now, Notre Dame is leading by a score of 17-3. Mike Miller at a 56-yard punt return for a touchdown. And things look pretty rosy right now.
Miller's
for
an
the
interesting story, Keith. He quit school a couple years ago as a freshman, and then got homesick, went home. Some of the players got together, put some money together, and he got him back for the spring game and decided to re-enroll.
Kick to Wheatley at the 4. To the 23, where it'll be first down for the Wolverines.
Special teams. Michigan's receiver didn't catch it. Miller catches it, breaks a tackle right there, right in the hole. Now he just outruns those two. Outstanding young athlete right there, like Miller. He sets him up. This is a return right up the middle. You're just looking for any blocks you can get. Too much speed.
And Michigan trailing 17-3 with 10-12 to play in the first half. I would think better put something on the board this trip down the field. Ricky Powers is the single back. He's got it, and Hamilton's got him. Ryan Hamilton, number 90. Senior out of Chicago. That'll be a loss of a yard. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. They haven't put it down yet. Now they put it down right about the line of scrimmage. Here's Jack.
Well, Keith, normally Lloyd Carr will take the defense as they come off the field and tell them what sort of adjustments they need to make. Not so this last time. He walked up, he threw the chalkboard away, and he said, "You've got to get tougher. You're getting beat." And then he turned around and walked away. Kind of obvious, isn't it?
Second down. That pass is way too high. Intended for Toomer. Here we go to John Saunders.
Keith, Clemson and Florida State, and Danny Cannell is in there, just a little relief for Charlie Ward, and what a relief it is as he finds Alani Johnson. But Johnson does most of the work, breaks 2 tackles there, gets it down near the goal line, and from there he just powers this thing across for a 78-yard touchdown, 16-0 Florida State. Keith.
All right, John, back here we've got a 3rd down and 10 with 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. And Michigan, hole getting deep. Single back. That pass right on the numbers to Toomer. This time, Amani can't bring it down. Greg Lane stepped right in front of him and almost surely impaired his vision. And though the ball was right there, Toomer could not reel it in.
Ball may have been tipped by Lane.
Yep.
We can't tell, but the fact is somebody needed to make a play for Michigan. They needed to stay on the field. The momentum is all in the white shirts at this point.
Well, Miller, 157-pound junior, is back waiting for the punt from Chris Stapleton. And he's got it over on the 29-yard line. And this time they get a rope on him and bring him down at about the 38. 48-yard punt and a 10-yard return. At the conclusion of the game, we'll pick the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player, 23rd year, the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 going to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. Now the pressure swings over to the Michigan defense, with their team trailing by 14 points. 106,851, that's the crowd. We told you it was over 100,000 and then some. It's the largest NCAA regular season college football crowd ever. 106,851. Beckton missed in the backfield. Got away from Tony Henderson, and instead of being down at the line of scrimmage or maybe losing a yard, he winds up picking up about 7.
You understand that the officials have asked that I guess some of the Notre Dame players were wearing black gloves, and the officials have asked them or told them to take them off or to put white paint on them. We'll take a look there. The problem with that is, especially if the offensive linemen, if you have dark gloves on and the jerseys of the defense are the same, sometimes they take that into account when you're trying to hold on. You can't see the hands very well, so you have to have gloves the same color of the jersey that you're wearing is the rule.
Shante Peoples, the strong safety, big senior from Saginaw, has to leave the ball game for Michigan, hobbling off. Ball is resting at the 46-yard line on the Notre Dame side of the field. The Irish ball, 2nd down and 2. The long 2. It's Zellers, the single back, and he gets the ball, and he gets the first down. He crosses midfield and goes to the Michigan 49. Morrison on the tackle, but the Irish front, Ruddy, Leahy, and those 2 guards just punch a hole right up the middle, and Zellers went for it.
Ruddy is the center. He gets his block. Henderson was slanting anyway. Pretty nice blocking inside there. 75 is Taylor.
First down Irish on the Michigan 49. Michigan showing right now a 5-man front as McDougal comes on the option, pitches to Beckton. Beckton is caught behind the line of scrimmage on a good play by Alfie Birch, the quarterback who penetrated and held his ground, and a loss on the play of a couple of yards.
First quarter score, Florida State.
The option, this is about the 3rd or 4th time that the Irish has run the option. Hope says that if the option works, we'll continue to run it. If not, they may only run it a couple times a ball game.
And Shante Peoples is back in the lineup for Michigan at that strong safety position. They need him. He's a big guy, 6'1", 222. It's 2nd down and 12. Ball comes back to the Irish 49. McDougal again, no pressure, pass complete to Beckton down at the Michigan 45. And they'll be looking at 3rd and about 6. Florida State rolling it up now in the 2nd quarter against Clemson. Make it 3rd and 5. That Beckton doesn't bend the other way very much, does he?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the speed of some of them, but he is a tough kid.
3rd and 5. McDougal passes away, got a man over there, pass is completed. And it's good down to the 31-yard line to Clint Johnson, the senior from Altamont Springs, Florida.
3rd down, nice call. Get McDougal outside the pocket. That gives him 2 things advantage. No hard rush inside the pocket. And secondly, you don't have to read anything. If you get outside, just read the receiver going down, use your athletic ability to throw him the ball. Most of the passes that McDougal has completed have been to the outside or deep down the field. No reads.
5 of 8, 102 yards. Beckton. Take him down just about the line of scrimmage, maybe 1 yard on the carry.
Buster Stanley made the stop.
Close them up and then open them up.
Yeah.
Close them up and open them up.
'75 white jersey is Aaron Taylor, the outstanding lineman for Notre Dame, pulling and going across. Dyson, number 91, really didn't give him a nice target to block, and I'd have to say that Dyson won that battle.
Dean Lytle lines up at the fullback position. Give the ball to the running back, Randy Kinder. His first carry of the ball game, and he's from East Lansing up the road. And he is knocked down all the way back at the 38-yard line. And so the Michigan defense comes up with a big play. Randy Kinder, a freshman.
He's the problem with that play, and a great play by Aga Khan, number 90, as he just stuffed Zadaveski, the big offensive guard, back into the backfield, and it knocked him. There's Aga Khan. Great play.
And Beckton comes back to the tailback position. There's young Zadaveski, 6'6", 295. So things are sort of muddled up for the moment. Notre Dame wants to straighten it out, and they'll spend the timeout at 4:54 to go in the first half.
Timeout, Notre Dame.
Well, the band's doing its part. They're working hard, but the football team is traveling uphill right now at 4:54 to go in the first half, trailing Notre Dame by a score of 17-3. And the Irish just had their first negative play, an 8-yard loss, as Aga Khan got loose to stop Kinder. And it's 3rd down and 17. Becton and Zellers in the backfield behind McDougal. Ball is knocked down. Nice play by number 91, Matt Dyson, outside linebacker, or if you like defensive end. He stepped in there and held his ground, and when McDougal tried to throw it underneath to set up a screen play, he slapped it down. And so the Michigan defense asserts itself, and Rob Leonard comes on to punt for Notre Dame. Mercury Hayes is the deep man, looking up kind of into the sun, standing back at the 10. Fair catch. Hayes at the 10-yard line. That's where Michigan will have to start this offensive possession. And here again, John Saunders.
Keith, as you just saw, Alabama has taken the lead over Vanderbilt, and here's why. Jay Barker hooks up with David Palmer, who makes a terrific catch. That's for a touchdown, 14 yards, 7-0. Meanwhile, Clifton Abraham fall on a blocked punt in the end zone, and as a result, Florida State now blowing out Clemson 23-0. Keith.
Somewhere down the end of the calendar, it's not beyond the pale that you can get an Alabama-Florida State matchup in a big ball game, huh?
Yep, special teams. Florida State getting one on the punt block.
Michigan still running uphill from the 10-yard line. Wheatley gets outside and gets a big first down for the Wolverines of Michigan. John Covington with the angle was able to run him down. But Wheatley hauled the ball from the 10. He hit the chalk at the 36, a 26-yard pickup.
If you're going to play wide receiver at Michigan, you got to be able to block. Watch these two guys out. Wide receiver goes in. Play is supposed to be inside. Now watch him stay with his man, blocking all the time, just enough to allow Wheatley and his speed to get around. Cam Cameron is in charge of them. You don't play unless you block at Michigan. 12
carries, 79 yards. He's got it again. A yarder on that one, and that's about it at 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. 17-3. Notre Dame is leading.
Hamilton made the stop.
Number 33, Shea Foster, comes out of the ball game. Wheatley now set up as a single back. Goheen, the middle backer, number 54, stayed at home, forcing Wheatley to go outside. And just about the line of scrimmage as Ronaldo Wynn makes the tackle. Number 54 was kind of walking around looking and decided, I'm going to camp right here. And when he did that, that made Wheatley go someplace else.
Ball to 39 now.
Goheen is playing in place of the injured Anthony Peterson. He's an outstanding inside linebacker for Notre Dame who hurt a leg last week in the Northwestern game and expected to be out about a month.
Michigan 1 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. That was a pass play to Amani Toomer. This pass play goes to Walter Smith. And Smith's got the first down at the Notre Dame 45-yard line. Collins continues to show a very accurate touch.
A lot of talent at the skill positions. University of Michigan wide receivers. Collins is playing for Elvis Gerbach, who graduated. Good protection by that inexperienced offensive line allows him to get the ball away. And then the speed of Smith picks up the first down.
Call it the 44, and Ed Davis is in the backfield for Michigan. Referee Hayes in motion. Davis has got the ball. Penalty flag thrown to the linesman.
Ball carried by Ed Davis.
It may very well go against Michigan.
There's a flag on the play.
The legal procedure on the offense, only 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
When the wide receiver flexed out, that left only 6. Prudential halftime report. John Saunders with the scores and highlights. A story of Rudy. And we'll have a live report on all of the trouble that's haunting Texas A&M. They've had 5 players suspended. That's kind of an aggravating, kind of an angry, nasty little story that just, it's kind of like having a wart in the wrong place of A&M. It's been going on and dragging on and it's just absurd to have something like that drag on that long. It's not that big a deal, but it's been just kind of hanging over their head forever.
Well, wasn't that the one redeeming thing that Don James said about having your conference do it?
Exactly
the examination
right.
is that you can get it done a lot quicker than you can through the NCAA.
Yep. Except in his case, it was more severe.
Yeah.
Collins pass to the sidelines. Hayes had to wait and wait and wait and wait. He's down, and the pass is complete at the 41. He came over and marked it, but now the other man comes over and waves it off and says no, he didn't have possession. Flanagan belted Collins.
There's a battle in the trenches. 96 is Knight.
Here comes Flanagan.
Flanagan comes from the other side. That looks like a good call to me. Yeah, I think the ball was, he was never had possession of it before it came out.
So it is 3rd down and 10.
No, 3rd and 10.
This is Hayes. He's got the ball. He's on his way. He can't get away. What a number 33, Greg Lane, just grabbed him by the heel and kept him from scoring.
All right, Notre Dame is going to blitz right here and here. Now, normally when you blitz, you cannot keep this man back here. But watch as he goes straight down the field. They blitz. They keep a man in center field. He keeps it wide, throws the ball downfield. That's an outstanding throw by Collins. He had men in his face. Big play for Michigan.
1st and goal for Michigan at the Irish 1-yard line. Collins to Wheatley. No touchdown. Number 58 and number 47. That's Jeremy Naw and Pete Bursich were the people who stopped Tyrone Wheatley. It is 2nd down and goal. And if anything, Wheatley lost a half a yard. 17-3 ball game, Notre Dame leading. With time running out in the first half. Michigan desperately needs a touchdown. Wheatley. The Wolverines have their touchdown.
Pulling. They got in, but not by much.
25th touchdown for Wheatley in the regular season. The NCAA doesn't count the bowl touchdowns. He had 3 in the Rose Bowl. Elezovic for the extra point. And it's good. At 1:13 to play in the first half. It is now a 7-point ball game. Ball goes to the tee as the home folks now, the 106,581, most of them rooting for the maize and blue. All on the tee. Their team has just scored a big pass play. Remy Hamilton's going to kick it off, and Mike Miller is going to run it back for Notre Dame.
But the special teams. There's been some blood spilled on the special teams, so they're all a little cautious here.
That's not a very good kick. It is hooked wide to the left and hooked out of bounds, and that'll cost Michigan 5.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure they told Hamilton to kick it away from.
He certainly did. They'll bring that ball out and give it to Notre Dame with good field position as they shuffle the chains along. And this saves really, it's one of the rules that I happen to be happy to see because it saves an awful lot of time. Put the ball down on the 35, and there are the numbers on the Michigan scoring drive.
And a big scoring drive before the first half ends for Michigan. 89 plays, and of course, the big play was that pass, 43-yard pass to Hayes.
89 yards.
89-yard drive.
All right, the Irish go double wide, bottom of the picture. Lake Dawson is the widest of the wides. Handed off to Beckton. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
Ball carried by Lee.
The man who reached in there and got a piece of him was number 90. Ninef Aga Khan. That's the second time he's been able to get a hand on an Irish running back and stop him. Under a minute to go now in the first half. Well, it's second down and 9. McDougal back, pumps it. Wanted to go deep, does go deep. Dawson's out there. The pass is incomplete. Lake Dawson got his hands on it, but defending on the play, Ty Law. And it is incomplete. Number 22, Ty Law.
It's interesting to watch these wide receivers and defensive backs for both teams. You have some of the finest athletes in the countries at these two schools at wide receiver and defensive back. Dawson, an outstanding receiver. Talk about a tough hit. That is a tough hit right there.
Scares you when you see that knee get
That's
bent
a
like
tough
that.
hit. And not only this time, but any time in the future you see a guy close to you, you'll remember that hit right there.
39 seconds remaining. McDougal this time rolls it out. Gets a whole lot of daylight. And a first down for Notre Dame at the Michigan 45-yard line. And again, it's Ty Law making the play defensively.
Well, one thing this game is showing us is that the real Kevin McDougal wasn't last week, that it's this week. The way this young man is running the football reminds me of the way Holtz likes to have a quarterback. One that can run, get outside the pocket, and throw downfield, and he can throw the ball downfield.
Tony Rice.
I think this McDougal's a little bit better thrower than Rice.
Yes, he is. First down. Call it the 46 of Michigan. All day down the middle, passes completed to Lake Dawson. He took a wicked hit, but he held on as Chuck Winters nailed him just after the catch. And it's another first down for the Irish. The clock stopping at 24 seconds. And time called for Notre Dame, that being their last timeout. And Mr. Greasy, do you know this young fellow here?
That's a similar last name.
That's Brian, the youngest of the 3 Greasy sons. He walked on here at the University of Michigan and worked his way into a scholarship.
I didn't see that other shot. What was that other shot? What did he have on his head? What was that?
What is that? I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I don't recognize him.
You know what? What Dad said when he saw him after the boot camp of beginning of football season says his hair is shorter and he's thinner.
Yeah.
Very good quarterback at Columbus High School, wasn't it, down in my Coral Gables?
Sure was.
Prudential halftime report includes the latest on the troubles at Texas A&M. Marianne Grabavoy with the story of Rudy at Notre Dame, and there's kind of a twist in that story that has to do with the rules. And the football team not allowed to go to the premiere of the motion picture because of rules. Rules and rules. Why couldn't they just go as a member of the public?
Well, if it was open to the general public, they could have won, I guess.
Yeah,
You're right.
trips to the top. 3 wide outs. McDougal back. Sets up. Good protection. Pumps it. Throws it under. Pass caught down at the 11-yard line by Derek Mays. And Michigan just can't get any pressure on McDougal.
Exactly. All day to throw. And McDougal did a nice job. He pumped and came back and reloaded. That's very tough to do.
Just short of the 10. Throws it into the ground, stopping the clock at 13 seconds. They have no timeouts remaining, remember. So they waste a down, but a down doesn't matter. With 13 seconds, you've got 4. The clock does stop when you move the chains and get a first down. That's why they had that little respite there. A 2-touchdown margin, or even a 10-point margin at halftime, is going to look awful big. Michigan coming back to cut it down to 7. And now it's Michigan spending the timeout with 13 ticks remaining on the clock.
Let's go back and take a look at the last completion. That's Johnson, number 8. They're crossing. The 2 receivers cross. And some people might think that's a pick. I don't see it that way. Mays gets into the center of the field. He already pumped once. But that is why they do cross, is try to scrape the receivers off. But pick has got to be more of a it's got to be something different than that. That wasn't a pick.
I remember a big, huge ruckus one time in a football game down in Texas between SMU and Arkansas. And they were screaming and yelling that Arkansas had run a pick play. And they growled about that for months.
We talk about a pick play, and everybody think a pick play is bad. Well, every offense has it, and it's a good move to cross your receivers, especially down in this area where there's not a lot of room, and a lot of times the defensive backs will be right up on you.
You're going to tell me you didn't have that in your book?
Oh, sure. Purdue, right? We did it all the time. Everywhere. Everybody's got it at every level.
Why don't you just change the dang rule and let people run it? McDougal looking to get it in the end zone. Gets away. He's got some daylight. He's running for the corner. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
And everybody covered except the quarterback. Too much speed, McDougal. Big drive there. 4 defensive linemen rushing. Huge gaping hole there. Now when he turns around, he sees it. He just outruns everybody. He's going to create problems for the defenses in the future. If they rush him, then he may run out of there. And if they don't rush him, he's proven that he can complete passes.
Soaring confidence.
Well, you got that right.
6 seconds to play in the first half. The kick is good. And it's now Notre Dame 24, Michigan 10. And this possession, it has been all Kevin McDougal. He is a senior. He is from Florida, Pompano Beach, 6'2", 194. And so far, he's just been superb. These are the games that follow here on ABC Sports. Look around and see which one you're getting in your territory. And then tonight, we finish our triple header. The Washington Huskies and the Ohio State Buckeyes at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. I'll tell you, from tackle to tackle on both sides of the ball, Ohio State is just about as good as anybody this year, they think.
The amazing thing to me is this right here. Notre Dame offense last year lost these 3 players. Meyer and Bettis were 2 first-round draft choices. Brooks was drafted in the 2nd round. That was the starting backfield. Then you throw in their tight end from last year. Irv Smith was also drafted in the 1st round. They had 4 players off the offense go in the top 2 rounds. And this offense comes out with 3 new starters in the backfield. The quarterback making his 2nd start and scores 24 points against Michigan on the road.
Wheatley is the deep man along with Mercury Hayes. And don't kick it to him. They bounce that ball downfield and leave it for him. Takes it at the 12. Looking for a hole. Finds one. But can't get two. And the half is over. So Kevin McDougal show in the first half as Notre Dame leads 24-10. Now John Saunders.
All right, Keith, the Irish have come storming out. They have the lead, and coming up at halftime, we will have scores and highlights, including #1 Florida State and #2 Alabama. Also, Marianne Grabavoy has the story of Rudy, the inspirational leader, if you will, of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. All of that, but first, here is a message from Chevrolet's Jeff Hurlburt.
We'll be back with halftime activities after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Halftime report is brought to you by the Prudential. When you face the most important financial decisions of your life, turn to the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock. From New York, John Saunders.
And welcome to the Prudential Halftime Report. Surprise, the Fighting Irish looked very lackluster last week against Northwestern. They lead at Michigan 24-10. Let's check elsewhere around the nation. We'll start off with the #1 team in the nation, Florida State, showing why they're #1 against a tough Clemson team. Danny Cannell actually comes up and tosses this one, stepped in there for Charlie Ward for this play, and finds Lonnie Johnson. Watch the job he does when he gets it down near the goal line to fight his way into the end zone, carrying a tackler with him. It was 16-0 at that point. Now on the extra point, Scott Bentley gets it blocked. Brian Dawkins picks it up, and he's off to the races, trying to pick up a couple of points for Clemson to break the shutout. But watch Bentley, the freshman kicker, from behind, makes the tackle and saves the day. And then Derek Brooks with a great play here, blocks this punt. It rolls towards the end zone where Clifton Abraham is there to fall on it. And as a result, they are rolling right now. Charlie Ward having a terrific first half, 131 yards passing, and he's carried twice for 35 yards as well. Meanwhile, Alabama, the #2 team in the nation, they lead Vanderbilt 14-6 is the score there. Jay Barker hooks up with David Palmer to the end zone, 7-0 at that point. Here the running back on the option, Sherman Williams, to David Palmer, 63 yards on this touchdown pass, 14-0 at that point. But for Vanderbilt, Kenny Simon has a 9-yard touchdown run, so now it is a 14-6 games. Now, a couple of games we'll be watching today here on ABC Sports. This is the one that stands out in my mind. John Robinson is #1. Joe Paterno #3 in winning percentage among active coaches. And that game is coming up here on ABC. One of our 4 regional games here at 3:30 Eastern time. That one comes from Happy Valley. And with more on that, let us join Roger Twyble at Penn State. Roger.
Thanks, John. I'm in the Hall of Fame room at Penn State University, and between Southern Cal and Penn State, they've had 5 Heisman Trophy winners through the years. Today's matchup between SC and Penn State also features 2 of the winningest coaches in college football, John Robinson and Joe Paterno.
It's a dog-eat-dog world in the SEC as this week the Bulldogs of Mississippi State host LSU in their first conference game of the season. The Bulldogs are led by Todd Jordan, who last week threw for 370 yards and averaged over 48 yards a punt. Right now to Dan Deardorff.
Thanks, Mark. We're here in East Lansing, and I'm in head coach George Perlis's office here on the Michigan State campus, and he's getting ready for his game with Kansas coming up, putting the finishing touches on the game plan. George, I got some wonderful ideas I've kind of been saving up if you need some help.
Yeah, that's the trouble with this game. Everybody's got some ideas.
I guess not. Stay tuned.
Everybody's trying to tell George Perlis what to do. Now, another big story, Texas A&M faces Oklahoma. You can see that one here on ABC Sports. Check your local listings as well. The story there, 5 of their players have been suspended. Allegedly, they took money for jobs that they did not do last summer, and the biggest name is Greg Hill. 5 games he's been suspended. Cox is out for the entire season. With more on that story, let's join Steve Zabriskie, who's standing by in Norman.
Thank you, John. The reaction from the Texas A&M University officials was swift, and it wasn't very positive. Interim President E. Dean Gage, Dr. Gage, issued a statement shortly after hearing from the NCAA last evening in which he said not only was he surprised and disappointed, but even angered by the sanctions handed down against the 5 players. The university felt like they had done everything absolutely correctly. They had admitted wrongdoing. They had mounted an investigation of their own. The players are in the process of even making restitution for the money that was paid to them for work they did not do. So consequently, the university has said that they are examining what avenues of appeal or other response may be available to them. In the meantime, of course, none of those 5 players will be on the field today, and the least suspension is 2 weeks. That's the story here. A&M going against Oklahoma without some of their key guys. John?
All right, Steve, we'll get back to you at 3:30 Eastern Time as Texas A&M goes up against Oklahoma. In the meantime, in prime time tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, everyone gets to see the Washington Huskies and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Of course, Washington cannot go to the Rose Bowl this year, so facing a Big Ten team, this may be their Rose Bowl. Should be a great one. Let's check elsewhere. Colgate facing Army. This one has been a blowout in the last 2 contests, 110-36 Army over Colgate. Right now, though, it is scoreless. Navy facing Virginia. George Welsh, he once coached at Navy. He's coaching against them. 33-yard field goal in that game as well. Delaware, as Tubby Raymond goes for win number 225. Right now, they're tied with William and Mary 7-7. Holy Cross, Andy Fitzpatrick, a 78-yard touchdown run for Holy Cross. Right now, it is 7-3. All right, we will continue with more of the Prudential Halftime Report in just a moment. But first, to listen to the Fighting Irish Notre Dame Band. And Lehigh leading Fordham 3-0. They're 5-0 lifetime. When we continue with the Prudential Halftime Report, I'll be joined by Marianne Grabavoy, who has the story of Rudy, inspirational leader, if you will, of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Halftime Report in New York, I'm John Saunders. Let's continue with some scores here. Maryland facing North Carolina. The Tar Heels with a very favorable schedule. They need to get by the next couple of weeks here. Stanisic has just thrown a 4-yard touchdown pass to tie that game. Central Michigan coming off a loss, leading Ohio U 14-0 there. Youngblood has thrown for a touchdown. Cincinnati and Bowling Green. Bowling Green has won 10 in a row at home, although they did lose last week. Illinois State facing a Ball State, and this one it's scoreless in the first quarter. Ball State coming off a pacing at the hands of Syracuse a couple of weeks ago. Tulsa facing Houston. This one 7-7 is the score here. Gus Farratt, 31 yards to split end Chris Penn. About 5 minutes left in the first. Tulsa goes in, 7-0 is the lead. But for Houston, Lamar Smith, 3 yards. Takes the little option toss and takes it in for the touchdown. That ties the game at 7 apiece. And Farratt with a 31-yarder. I'm joined now by Marianne Grabavoy. And for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, it's really been a tough couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
There's the book, Under the Tarnished Dome. There was a lackluster performance against Northwestern. But now comes a terrific movie about the Fighting Irish. It's a true story. You were actually there for this story of Rudy.
That's right. Rudy and I are from the same hometown. And this week, Lou Holtz did see the movie Rudy. And I'm sure for him it was a bit of welcome relief, and it seems like it may have gotten him a little pumped up for this Michigan game. Dan Rudy Rudiger was a walk-on who played at Notre Dame, and he could have played at Alabama, Penn State. It didn't make any difference which school, because Rudy's story is for every player, every walk-on who ever played college football.
They called him a dreamer, a kid who wasn't supposed to make anything of himself. A kid who was underestimated and misunderstood, especially when it came to the size of his heart.
I wish God would put your heart in some of my players' bodies.
Misunderstood when it came to his desire to play football at Notre Dame.
I never knew where Notre Dame was when I was growing up. Thought it was in heaven. Notre Dame represented a religion instead of football, if you want to know the truth. Because when we went to Sunday Mass, the priest announced the football score of Notre Dame game.
For Dan Rudy Rudiger, his dream may have started in heaven, but here on earth, well, it landed with a thud. One of 14 kids from an Irish Catholic family in Joliet, Illinois. Playing defensive end for the Irish was a pipe dream. He was an average athlete.
You're 5 feet nothing, 100 and nothing, and you got hardly a speck of athletic ability.
And he was a less than average scholar, but he clung to his dream of playing ball for the Irish. And after a stint in the Navy and 2 years of junior college, Rudy was accepted as a Notre Dame student. If that seemed improbable, well then making the football team as a walk-on seemed terribly impossible.
I'm here to play football for the Irish.
Irish! When you were chasing this dream, were there people who laughed at you?
All the time. I mean, I could remember walking off the practice field at Notre Dame. Why are you out here, Rudy? That hurt.
What kept you coming back?
The hope of maybe they would let me run through that tunnel once.
Rudy was a determined individual, and we could place him about anywhere, and he would give you 100% effort every time that he was out there.
So, Rudy, these photos down here are of your brief, shining moment as a Notre Dame football player, right?
Oh, very brief.
That's very shining.
Yeah, very shining.
This is the moment. Senior year, last game, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah, that was a special moment. We have a special picture. It's as the game ended, there was only 5 seconds left, and I ran in and sacked the quarterback, Rudy Allen, for a 5-yard loss.
Not bad.
No, it wasn't.
And then what happened?
And the team came out and carried me off the field on their shoulders.
What an incredible feeling, huh?
Oh, it was great. It was fabulous. Dreams do come true, Marianne.
But the story doesn't end there.
No.
You made the movie.
It's not about just a kid wanting to play football. Football is a metaphor. I hope the big people realize that there's more than football and size and talent. It's hard.
Number 1, they are leading against Clemson right now at halftime. Alabama facing Vanderbilt, and they lead as well. We'll, of course, update these scores throughout the day. But first, a couple of quick scores. Iowa facing Iowa State. They play it every year. 14-0. Burmeister has a touchdown pass in that game. They have the lead, 16 yards. And Tulsa and Houston back and forth. Tulsa now on top, 14-7. Solomon White, 29-yard touchdown run for Tulsa. Now, beginning today, we're going to start by giving you a look at the Coors Light Fan Picks poll. These are the fans calling in to pick the poll. You can call in at 1-800-932-3000 each week to cast your ballot. This week, here's your top 10, and just like the real poll, Florida State is on top. You'll get a look at that each week. Right now, the second half is straight ahead. The Fighting Irish with the lead over Michigan. Enjoy the second half.
Leaders, Todd Collins, 8 of 13, no interceptions or touchdowns. Wheatley leads the rushers with 83 yards, and Toomer leads in receptions. Michigan's first half possessions, they scored a field goal on their first, and they had a touchdown on their last, but look at the fourth possession. They punted, and that was the punt that was returned for a touchdown by Miller of Notre Dame. Lots of big plays in this game, and most of them on Notre Dame's side. Quarterback McDougal on a 43-yard touchdown run and a big pass to Johnson. Another key reception to Dawson, and then the punt return.
Now Jack Arute.
Well, Keith, not surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of joy in the Wolverine locker room. Coach Gary Moeller told the team they have one additional half to play. But where he focused, no surprise on the defense. He said they have got to pick up the pace, and they've got to play near perfect defense to beat this Notre Dame Irish team.
You didn't need a writer to figure that out.
Been in a lot of locker rooms in that situation, and I would have told him that the same thing, that, you know, keep your confidence and just go out and play the second half. The thing is, Notre Dame has not had any penalties, no sacks, no turnovers, and only one negative play. They've almost played perfect football in the first half. You wonder if that can continue. Moeller hopes it doesn't.
Tyrone Wheatley and Mercury Hayes are the lead people for Kevin Pendergast. Wheatley had a pretty good first half. You know, talking about the top running backs, pretty close to 100 yards in the first half. Takes this ball at the goal line. Here you go. All the way out to the 48-yard line before Jeff Burris can finally bring him down. So Wheatley came within a breath of taking it 100 yards.
Well, if short of scoring a touchdown, this is the ideal way for the team that's behind to come out in the second half with a big punt return. Wheatley following his blockers, and there's that man again, Burris, who's all over the field making the tackle.
Put it on the 49 of Michigan, first down with Todd Collins at quarterback. Wheatley in the backfield behind him. Shea Foster. Wheatley almost breaking loose and heading for the goal line. This is Mercury Hayes in motion and give the ball to Wheatley into the middle, 2 yards on the carry, and that'll do it. Bryant Young makes another tackle for Notre Dame.
Series, the last 6 games, Notre Dame had won 4 in a row. Michigan won here 2 years ago, and then the game last year in Notre Dame, of course, the tie.
Walter Smith, number 2, goes into the lineup. Here Cooper comes out. They've got 3 wideouts. Todd Collins had a good first half. He had a lot more pressure than Kevin McDougal did. This is Wheatley. He's going to lose a yard on this carry back to the 50. So the Michigan offense starts out very conservatively. Jim Flanagan stuffed that play. Number 44 for Notre Dame. It is Hamilton, Young, Gibson, and Flanagan, the down 4 along the defensive front for Notre Dame. And as a unit, they've been the strongest point in this ball game.
And as advertised, we mentioned it in the opening that was a key. The offensive line, the inexperienced offensive line of Michigan versus that veteran defensive line for Notre Dame.
It is 3rd down and 9. 24-10, Notre Dame lead. Collins lets it go. Hayes is under it. Ball is picked off by Burris. Jeff Burris coming back up the sidelines and steps on the sidelines at the 35-yard line.
Pass intended for Mercury Hayes, intercepted.
So the interception by Burris, the pass intended for Hayes, and Notre Dame is in business. 1st down.
Burris is at the bottom of your screen. He is the center fielder. Coverage is on the outside by McGee, 17, but Burris, who is free back there, gets over and makes the play, just playing the quarterback's eyes.
The interception has been made. Todd Collins, a quarterback, is coming across looking to get involved, and
always a target.
Took a wallop.
Yeah, always a target. If you throw an interception, there are 11 guys looking to hit the quarterback.
1st down, just short of the 35. McDougal moves back again, no pressure, passes away, passes incomplete. The man who got a hand on it was Alfie Birch. And if he had not knocked it down, it very well could have been picked off by somebody else.
Good
because
call.
It was not a well-thrown ball.
Good call. Well, Notre Dame offensively, it's McDougal's show. 137 yards passing, 69 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. And Johnson leads them in receptions. First half possessions, they scored the first time and the last time they had the ball. And the last score was a big one, answering a touchdown by Michigan.
Ray Zellers at fullback, Lee Beckton the tailback. McDougal gives it to Beckton. And he'll have 2 or 3 yards. Steve Morrison locked his legs as he came across. Steve, a junior from Birmingham, Michigan.
Shante Peoples, the strong safety, is the leader in tackles for Michigan in the first half. But this Michigan defense, Keith, and you mentioned it, has not stopped Notre Dame from making at least 1 first down. Every drive, they've made at least 1 first down.
There was 1 minus yardage play for Notre Dame. It came at 4:54 to go in the first half. McDougal still got it. Now he gets a little heat, but he just simply runs away from it. And moves the ball out to the 47-yard line, and the 1st down for the Irish. They had him. I mean, he was on the breakfast table, and suddenly he was gone.
They can't trap him. They can't sack him, and when they do have coverage downfield, then he just squirts out of there, and nobody can tackle him. You're going to have to get a spy, a pretty quick spy. Everybody's covered downfield. It's perfect, what they want. Now his athletic ability just gets him out of there, and he gets the 1st down. Good play.
Put it on the 47. Trips at the top, bring Beckton back. Penalty flags are flying around. Left side of the line for Notre Dame. Moving.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
That's the first Notre Dame mistake today. First penalty. They've had no turnovers, no sacks.
Left side of that line is composed of Aaron Taylor, 299, Zadoveski, 295, Ruddy, the center, is 286, Ryan Leahy, the right guard, 290, and Todd Norman, 297. That's that rumbling sound you heard a little while ago. McDougal again steps away from the pressure, gets his pass off. The pass caught by Mays, and it's first down Notre Dame at the Michigan 39. Matt Dyson reached for him. He just simply stepped away from him.
The option fake is going to pull these linebackers up. And watch as the receiver is going to get in behind where the linebackers should be. The option fake holds the linebackers, and the receiver gets behind them. The other receiver drew it wrong, but same spot. But that's the reasoning, the thinking behind that play.
Zellers, the fullback, and Buster Stanley lays a lick on him right about the line of scrimmage. Big 60 for Michigan. 24-10, Notre Dame.
Michigan defense last year in the Big Ten led the Big Ten in sacks, and 7 starters returned from that group. But they have not been able to sack McDougal here today.
Mark Edwards checks into the backfield. He's a freshman from Norwood, Ohio. Number 30. Here's some pressure coming on a blitz, but McDougal steps away from it, throws another hummer. The pass is caught by Mike Miller, and Miller is taken down at the 16-yard line. So they send a blitz. Shante Peoples, he just steps away and completes his pass. And they move the chains.
Here's Shante right here. If you can't get him with a 4-man rush, nobody is on him, and he still can't bring him down. Gets blocked a little bit. Outstanding play. Notre Dame's making all the plays. Michigan defensively is not making any.
McDougal on an option. Keeps it to the 14. That's a pickup of about 2 yards, hit primarily by Gannon Dudluck.
This has been the Kevin McDougal show for a little over a half. Limping a little bit. He has come of age here today.
Pretty good carving job, isn't it? Kinder is back in, the freshman from East Lansing. First time he was in, he wound up on the short end of an 8-yard loss. This time it's positive yardage, and here's John.
Keith, Iowa on the road at Iowa State. That state rivalry, and it's big. Cedric Shaw, though, punches this one across 1 yard, 21-0. Meanwhile, in the ACC, Leon Johnson has rushed one in from 57 yards. North Carolina leads Maryland 14-7. Keith.
Tar Heels looking for their third straight win.
Off to a good start, aren't they?
Yep. It is third and a long 3. There goes Kinder. He's got his first down. It's down to the 5. It's where they mark it. Chuck Winters knocked him back, but it's first and goal Notre Dame at the Michigan 5. Randy Kinder, 6'1", 205 from East Lansing. He chose to go to Notre Dame and left home instead of coming down the road or staying at home.
And he's got some speed, Keith, which Becton and Zellers, the 2 backs that are in there, do not possess. And I'm sure Notre Dame would like to get him in there a little bit more and more as the season progresses.
Horace checks into the backfield, number 9 now. Full house. Handed inside to Zellers, number 34. It's about 1.5 yards on that carry. Ball is just inside the 4. Second down and goal for the Irish, leading 24-10. And trying to ring the bell one more time. This is Burris to the 2-yard line. Notre Dame's offensive line balanced at 3-3. And full house backfield. Everything is symmetrical in this goal line offense. Third and goal. Zellers was given the ball. McDougal turned upside down. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Decision time.
Here comes Pendergast.
Take the points.
Now 4th down.
Colts with a 14-point lead. Will be the first one to score in the second half if this kick is good.
If they make it, it puts them behind by more than 14. He made it. 6:52 to play in the 3rd quarter. 27-10, Notre Dame leads. Well, question, I guess, if you're a Michigan faithful, can they break a 93-year-old tradition? They're down by 17 points and not all that much time left to play. A total of 21 minutes and 52 seconds.
But they do have the weapons. They have big play people, and there you're looking at one of them.
Yep. The last 6 Wheatley runs, however, have not been terribly productive. 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, and -1. So they've got him in check right now. Pendergast will kick it off. With Hayes and Wheatley waiting for it. It's a short kick. Hayes comes up to the 13. To the 26. And that'll do it. In its 6th season, the Honda Scholar Athlete Award, brought to you by American Honda, supporting amateur athletics. Mark Melia, center, senior from the University of Michigan, academic all Big Ten, 3.48 GPA, biology pre-med. Honda presenting a check of $3,000 to General Scholarship Fund, University of Michigan. Melia is the man that starts everything. He's the center.
Yep, he's a bright kid, the leader of that offensive line.
He calls the blocking assignment.
Yes, he does.
Wheatley. The Notre Dame defensive front. They're just not going to do it.
Impressive drive, 13 plays. And that key play when Shante Peoples almost sacked McDougal and completed it for a big first down to Miller.
2nd down and 7. Wheatley gained 3. We're going to see more and more now of Todd Collins. Pressure coming from the backside. Pass underneath Smith. Penalty flag goes down out of the referee's pocket.
Pass complete. Walter Smith.
Tom Quinn holding Michigan. So the Wolverines trying to put the heat on the
Please report the first
Michigan
aid.
quarterback. Somebody got too much of a shirt tail and they got caught.
Here's the flag of the play.
5 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, spot ball.
It's a spot foul, Keith, and that happened about 5 or 6 yards deep in the backfield behind the line of scrimmage.
Big penalty. Huge penalty.
It's one of the rules that was changed last year. Ends up being about a 17-yard penalty.
Ball comes all the way back inside the 10-yard line. So they've got to go to beyond the 36 for their first down. So you're looking at about, what, 26 yards? Close to 27. Collins pass. Intercepted by Bobby Taylor. Intended for Toomer. And Taylor is out of bounds inside the Michigan 10. A killer play for the Wolverine hopes.
Here's the receiver right here. He's just going to go down and run a slant to the inside. And here's Taylor. He's just going to come, follow, and pick it off. Taylor had one last week against Northwestern that was disallowed because of interference, which was not interference. This kid can play. Look at him. He sees it the whole way, goes for the ball. I tell you, if I'm a quarterback going down the road, I'd look out for that guy right there, 21.
Lanky, 6'3", got some reach on him. McDougal hands it inside with Zellers, the fullback. And moving from the 9, he picks up a yard or so. Bobby Powers, number 95, making the tackle for Michigan.
So look at the quarterbacks and what they've done today. McDougal much more productive, 179 yards. Collins has 2 interceptions. McDougal has 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Burris is back in that T formation backfield. This is Beckton carrying. And the young man from North Carolina is down to the 3-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 3. Crowd of 106,851, the largest NCAA regular season crowd ever. And it's relatively quiet. McDougal keeps it, throws it. Pass is caught by Zellers out of the backfield, and he goes down at the 2 as Steve Morrison took him down.
Steve Morrison and Deion Johnson made the stop. Ball now on the 2-yard line. 4th down.
Ball is put on the 2. It is 4th down and goal, and Notre Dame's going.
Good call. I think if you make it, the game is over.
Yep. Burris didn't make it. Ninef Aga Khan stopped him with some help from his friend.
If you're a Michigan fan, that's the good news that you stopped him. The bad news is you take over on your own half-yard line.
And things ain't going well right now for your offense, but it was a good defensive play. All right, Michigan offensive unit comes out. Distressed as a unit today. 3 minutes and 28 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. And the ball is not quite at the 1-yard line. That's Mercury Hayes in motion. Collins turns, throws, pass caught by the tight end, Pierre Cooper, a freshman out of Alief, Texas, and he gets it out to about the 5-yard line. Here's Jack.
Keith, you would have thought on that great goal line stand that the Michigan sidelines would have gotten excited. As soon as they saw they held, they didn't do anything. Could their spirit be broken this early in the 2nd half?
I don't know.
I think they may be in a state of shock at this point.
Place is pretty quiet.
Yeah, not only the players, but the fans, about 105,000 of them.
Collins to Wheatley. A yard to the 6. Flanagan, the tackle for Notre Dame.
Michigan came into this ball game a 9-point favorite, and I know the coaches for Michigan don't like to hear that, but players read the paper, and especially the fans and everybody. Of course, you know, you love being a 9-point favorite, especially over Notre Dame, and you still have to play the game.
They better do something here on 3rd down and 5. Or that next thumping sound could be the door closing. Collins getting pressure, throws his pass. The pass is completed. Was he inbound? Yes, first down. Whoa, that was close. But it worked. Collins is a big guy, 6'5", 229.
Keith, he's played well in his 3 previous starts against Houston, Oklahoma State, and last week against Washington State. But they aren't the caliber of defense that Notre Dame is showing him here today.
First and 10 as the ball comes out to the 13-yard line. Pass is away. The pass is good. About an 8-yard pickup on the completion to Mercury Hayes, a sophomore out of Houston. And Jim Flanagan was all over Todd Collins one more time.
If Michigan is to get back into this game, it's like we mentioned, they do have the talent. They have wide receivers with speed, and they have Wheatley at halfback that can break a big play at any time.
And Derek Alexander has not played in the game, as we told you at the very outset today. A very sore ankle. He suffered the injury on the first play in the Washington State opener last week. 42-yard reception. Second down and 2. Collins got Smith on this side, goes the other way to Toomer. And Damani Toomer is knocked down at the 30-yard line for another first down. Another update from John Saunders.
Keith, Baylor in Colorado. Lamont Warren from 1 yard out plunges across, and the Buffs get on top. 7-0 is the score there. Texas Tech at Nebraska. Nebraska leading 10-0. The replacement for Calvin Jones, Damon Benning, a redshirt freshman, has taken it in from 45 yards. Keith.
That Colorado is a good football team. We got Miami, Colorado coming up for some portion of the country later. This is Tyrone Wheatley. Burris is the only man, and Burris is get hit with a face mask. Burris didn't have any choice. He had to grab something, and he got the face mask. So tack on 15. At least 5 and maybe 15.
Same formation. Spread them out. 3 wide receivers. Now the draw play. Bursic won't get him. Covington misses the tackle. And Burris, who has been everywhere, saves the touchdown, but gets the flag.
What'd they give him, 5 or 15? 5, huh? $44-yard play plus 5. Wheatley now 21 carries, 133 yards. That's a major league performance.
Burris has been a 3-year starter. He's a tri-captain. This is his 25th straight start. And there you take a look at Wheatley.
Ed Davis is the tailback, starting this series with Burkholder, the tight end, moving around. Goes to Davis. He finds the track. And Davis runs it down to about the 12-yard line. Ed Davis, a sophomore from Detroit. Got 8 yards, second down and 2. Put the ball at the 13, short of the 12.
Ball now at the 13-yard line, second down 3.
Davis again, fresh legs. Fresh legs can be very helpful late in a ball game, and we're getting in the closing seconds of the third quarter now, and it's first down and goal Michigan at the Notre Dame 8-yard line. Make it the 7, closer to the 7.
Notre Dame defense, a lot of experience. In fact, 8 seniors start on that Notre Dame defense.
Wheatley's back. Hayes in motion. Wheatley the ball. To the 4. Clock running, 20 seconds to go in the third period. Looks like they'll let it run out, and we'll go to the final quarter. Notre Dame 27, Michigan threatening and needing a lot of points. We will be back with the final period after this message and a word from our ABC station. Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, Jack Arute reporting from Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. The Wolverines trailing Notre Dame 27-10, threatening on 2nd down and 4. 2nd down and goal from the 4, desperately needing points against Notre Dame. The Irish defensive team has been dominant in this ball game. They give it to Wheatley. Tyrone Wheatley, touchdown.
From behind the defense, you know, Wheatley, it's the speed that gets all the headlines of Tyrone Wheatley, but it's the power that's impressive. Not only does he have the quickness right there running over Burris for the score.
The extra point try. Elizovic. Good. Michigan goes 99 yards in 10 plays to close within 10. 1989, the Rocket was the story. Raghib Ismail, 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. The first 89 yards, the second 92 yards. Notre Dame beat Michigan 24-19. Special teams, special teams, special teams. Here's the kickoff, penalty flag down. Kick goes back into the end zone, a yard for Mike Miller. He's out across the 20 to the 22. There's another penalty flag. But there was a penalty flag thrown back on the kickoff. I think somebody had a face mask on the tackle on Miller. So let's have the officials huddle for a while, and somebody will come up with something, and then Tom Quinn, the boss man, will tell us what they're going to do about it.
We have multiple fouls. We have offside on the kicking team. We have the clip on the return. Notre Dame will have the option to keep the ball if they will accept the penalty from Michigan.
Wait a minute.
Notre Dame
was clipping. They had the major foul against them.
They had the major foul, yeah.
It should be Michigan has the choice.
That's right. Michigan was offside. Notre Dame had the major foul.
Penalty.
Yeah, and Notre Dame had a 15-yard penalty.
Right. We got Lou Holtz coming out on the field.
Notre Dame can have the ball. That's the point. They'll re-kick it.
I don't understand that, but of course I'd want to re-kick it because I got this guy that can run at 105 yards like the Rocket.
Absolutely.
Here's the stats after 3 quarters. Notre Dame 334 yards total offense after 3 quarters. Those 2 turnovers, Michigan, the first 2 possessions in the 3rd quarter, both interceptions, led only to 3 points.
So it's ruled offsetting fouls. Basically, that's what it amounts to, and we're just going to, nothing counts, and we'll redo it.
Michigan's scoring drive, the impressive thing, 99 yards. After that interception, Notre Dame went for it on 4th down. Defense stopped them. Offense came down with a big drive to get them back in the ball game.
Time remaining, and time now definitely the ally of the Irish. 14 minutes and 51 seconds. Miller waits.
He's already returned one punt for a touchdown today.
Ramey Hamilton will kick it for Michigan. Pretty good kick. Down to the 4. Stumbled a bit.
Ball's loose.
Ball came out. Michigan may have it. They say they do, and the officials say no. No, he's down. He stumbled back on the 21-yard line, and I think you will find that his knees were on the ground as the ball came out.
Down at the 26-yard line. The ball is down.
So middle return. 5 blockers in front. Yep.
He was down. Definitely down.
Now, if you're a coach, you're going to tell him on Monday, you say, listen, don't let the officials have a choice, though. You don't want to put your fate in their hands, but no doubt about that. Just thankfully for Miller, one of the officials saw it.
24-yard line and a first down. Becton and Zellers lined up in the backfield behind McDougal. Becton. And he grinds out about 4 yards as we again go to John Saunders.
Number 1, Florida State is rolling, and much of it because of Charlie Ward. Here he hooks up with Warwick Dunn for 16 yards. Charlie Ward's 3rd touchdown pass of the day, 36-0 over Clemson. Meanwhile, Alabama leading Vanderbilt 17-6. Bama with 345 yards of total offense. There's still time to play. Keith.
You got a Notre Damer down there at Vanderbilt coaching, don't you, Jared Donardo? Shante Peoples is the man rattled on the play. Peoples with 7 tackles in the ball game. It's to be the 2nd time that he's going to have to leave the game because of injury.
Shante Peoples taken up on the play.
Super Sunday, premiere of one of the shows you've been waiting for, Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman, premiering tomorrow night on ABC at 8/7 Central. Dean Cain. Clark, DB from Princeton in his college days. Second down and 5 for the Irish. Home folks getting into it now, trying to get their defense jacked up, get that ball into the hands of the guys in the maize and blue. Zellers carries for maybe 2 yards.
Ray Zellers carried.
So it is 3rd down and short. And on 3rd down and short today, McDougal has been spectacular.
Take a look at the top 10 and see how you're doing. Michigan is losing. Miami is idle, and everybody else seems to be doing all right.
3rd down and 3. Peoples is back for Michigan. They got him spread out. Here goes Becton, and they get him. Right at the line of scrimmage, and it's Shante Peoples who put the clincher on him.
Well, they had a blitz on. They weren't waiting around. 3rd and short. Lloyd Carr says we got to stop him. Watches the linebackers are coming. Misses up the blocking assignments. Right there. If he breaks this tackle, there is nobody left.
You got to gamble, though. You don't have any choice.
Yes, you do.
At this point, trailing by 10 points.
First time for Notre Dame offense, 3 and out all day.
Good punt. Hayes back to the 19. Gets away from 1, gets some help. Back to the 29-yard line. That's a good, tough return by Mercury Hayes. 9 yards off a 48-yard punt. You've got most of the 4th quarter to play yet. Wheatley is starting to roll them up. Tyrone's well over 100 yards. So 141 yards, as a matter of fact. The ball rests just short of the 29-yard line, where it is first down for the Wolverines. Notre Dame leading 27-17. 12 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the ball game. Todd Collins gets it off. You got a screen set up for Wheatley. Doesn't hold together very long, and Covington comes over to make the stop on him. Gain of about 9 yards. Second down, a 1.5. Here's Jack.
Keith, about 5, 6, maybe 7 plays ago, the benches on the Michigan sidelines were populated with people worn out, shocked. That's not the case now, as you can see. They're up, they're bouncing. They've gotten their wake-up call. A 10-point deficit sometimes does that.
Second down, short 2, long 1, however you like it. Collins put it up again. Now goes with it. Pass is caught, good for the first down. It's up around the 46-yard line by Feldman Malveaux, a sophomore out of Beaumont, Texas. And here's something about Colorado from New York, John Saunders.
The Buffs with a couple of quick touchdowns, Keith. Cordell Stewart here to his running back James Hill on the little toss. Hill, though, fumbles it right there. He's stripped. The ball bounces to the end zone where Charles Johnson recovers it. He had just become their leading receiver, and it's 14-7, BYU leading Hawaii.
First down. Here goes Wheatley. Caught by Goheen, number 54, the junior out of Wexford, PA. And maybe a yard on the play. That Charles Johnson got his degree in marketing in Colorado in 3 years, and he's already well into graduate school on something else. He is a bright one.
Good for him.
Played quarterback, he's kind of like Burris. He does a little bit of everything. Whatever's needed, Coach, I'll go to it. Collins now has hit 6 straight after back-to-back interceptions, so he's righted his ship somewhat. Miller's out of the ball game for Michigan. That's Sean Miller. Wheatley's out of there right now. Shea Foster lines up as the single back. And it's second down and 9 as Collins comes, sets, throws. Had some happy feet going there for a minute. Walter Smith is on the sidelines at the 50-yard line and out of bounds.
Complete to Walter Smith.
There's Tyrone getting a breather. They move the marker. It'll be just over midfield, near the Notre Dame 49. No, closer to the 50. Call it the 50, make it third down and 5.
Last year, Burris right there had 13 tackles and an interception against Michigan, and he's been a big factor in this one today.
Collins' pass for Toomer is incomplete. Greg Lane defending on the play. The pass was just beyond the reach of Toomer. And so Todd Collins now has got himself in a bit of a fix. On 4th and 5, the Wolverines will punt at 10:58 to play in the ball game. Notre Dame leading by a score of 27-17. Stapleton's got to punt it. I suspect he'll try to kick it away from Mike Miller. Well, he just nailed it. And it trickles into the end zone. He was trying to hit it into the corner. It wouldn't go there. Went straight ahead. 50-yard punt. And the Irish have it at the 20. First outing.
Starting center for the Browns, Steve Everett, was starting for Michigan.
Yeah.
Of course, Elvis Gerbach is one of the 49er quarterbacks.
First down from the 20-yard line. Ball is pitched to Mark Edwards, a freshman from Norwood, Ohio, and the Wolverines jumping pretty good right about the line of scrimmage with big number 95 Bobby Powers getting the major part of that tackle. Clock ticking along, 10.5 minutes to play in a ball game, and Notre Dame leading by 10 points, 27-17. Michigan came in number 3 in the country. 9-point favorite. Second down and 10. McDougal stands there all day. No pressure. Pass is underthrown, intended for Lake Dawson. He threw it off the back foot. Didn't have any pop on it. Florida State will win some more votes with that outing, won't they? Tech's giving Nebraska a bit of a game. Frazier lame in that Nebraska lineup for quarterback, and Jones, of course, not in it. Colorado. We got a Colorado-Miami game that I'm looking forward to. That may really be a lot of fun. 3rd and 10 for Notre Dame. This time they got some pressure, but he steps away from it. Throws the pass incomplete.
Start calling him the magic man. McDougal, he keeps getting out of those binds like that. Michigan stops him for the 2nd straight time.
So Rob Leonard will come back on to punt. This time it's Toomer going deep as the punt returner. Toomer instead of Hayes. Knuckleball floating very high, and it takes a Notre Dame bounce. It's been an Irish kind of a day in Ann Arbor, Michigan. 37-yard line, Wolverines have it first down, 9:48 to play. Desmond Howard won the Heisman Trophy, and this play, as much as any, was responsible for it. Michigan beat Notre Dame 24-14. Michigan comes out now, first down. The ball at the 37-yard line. Wheatley, the lone back, pops through the line. Collins keeping the ball, couldn't find anybody to throw to, and gets barely back to the line of scrimmage before Oliver Gibson takes him down. So they tried to use Wheatley to pull the backers in and get the attention of the corners, but they didn't bite it. Collins had to eat it. Toronto beating up on the Angels 8-4. American League East is a pretty good chase.
Nobody wants it.
Yeah, you're right. 2nd down and 10. Collins with a deep drop. Drills the ball. Pass to Mark Burkholder is good.
Pass is complete.
Well short of the first down.
Burkholder.
Ball moves out to about the 42. Justin Goheen on the tackle. And it'll be 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5. 8:40 to play in the game.
Critical play right here, whether you keep possession or have to punt it away.
Or gamble on 4th down.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Nowhere near his man, and Mercury Hayes is howling that he was held by Greg Lane, and no call on that, and now it is 4th and 5 with 8:29 to play in the game. They're going to go.
Hayes is at the top. Notre Dame, who has played a lot of zone, switches to man-to-man. See the white shirts running with the blue. It's a little mix-up, and he had a little hold of him on the right side there.
Stapleton's in, number 18. Who's the up man? That's Ricky Powers, right? Yep. Now goes to Stapleton. Hunt is away. Miller comes over. Miller's looking for it. He's got it and steps out of bounds up at the 23-yard line. There the Irish will go to work. With 8 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the ball game. Next, game 2 of our college football triple header. These are the games that'll be seen in your area. Check the local listings or call your cable operator for a game on pay-per-view. Then tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, Washington meets Ohio State. It's all today on ABC Sports. Washington, Ohio State's going to be an interesting ball game.
Yes, yes. We find out a lot about both clubs.
Yep. Way to the sideline, got Lake Dawson over there by himself and gets first down up to the 35-yard line. Well, they really hit Dawson, didn't they?
And Dawson does a nice job, Keith, of not going out of bounds. He caught the ball right next to the out of bounds, and there was a defensive back upfield a little bit. But he keeps the clock moving with a 10-point lead.
Ball deep, just short of the 35-yard line.
He found his way from Federal Way all the way to South Bend. I wonder how he did that. Federal Way is out by Tacoma, here between Tacoma and Seattle. Notre Dame over the years had a lot of players come out of the Northwest. Lee Beckman's taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Shante Peoples, number 3. Penalty flag showing on the field. And you have a Wolverine down on the field. Matt Dyson. The Wolverine shaken up.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense.
So a dead ball personal foul against Notre Dame. Dyson's going to have to come out of the ball game. If time permits, we invite you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. 7:50 to play in the ball game. Dyson must come out.
91 is Dyson, injured on the play.
Matt's a junior from La Plata, Maryland. Sean Collins listed as his backup from Patterson, New Jersey.
Dyson missed a lot of the fall practice with a calf injury. He's had a great year last year. He made all Big Ten. 7 sacks on the year. Looks like he's moving all right.
So the penalty backs him up to the 19-yard line. 2nd down and 26 for the Irish.
Reverse.
Here comes Lake Dawson. Penalty flag is thrown. I want to tell you, I don't know that I've ever seen a team run through a Michigan football team like Notre Dame's doing it today. Holding against Notre Dame. So that'll wipe out that big play.
It really ticks an offensive coordinator or a guy calling the plays, holds off. You get a big play, you've got 10-point lead, you want to hold the ball, you got to reverse, you got a first down, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from you. That's a trick play that you try and pull out at the right time, and it goes for nothing.
The ball goes back to the 17-yard line. And it is 2nd down and 28. That's a spot foul. The holding happened well up the field.
The 17-yard line.
Clock will start at 7:30 to play in the ball game. Notre Dame is taking their own sweet time.
The report that Dyson just had a sprained ankle. They twisted it. He may be back in.
Beckman trying to bounce outside and will get a yard, and that'll do it. As Alfie Birch, the cornerback on that side, with help from Winters, bring him. And let's go to John.
Keith in the WAC, Hawaii, with the long road trip to BYU in Utah, and Brian Gordon, a good run here, 58 yards. Nice job to stay in bounds as he gets shoved at the last second. 58 yards, and the touchdown has tied the game 14 apiece. Back to you, Keith.
Long-legged guy running that ball, and Dyson's back in. 3rd down. 3rd and very long, and back goes McDougal. Some pressure. This time they get him. First time today they've really sacked him. Back on the 10. Buster Stanley is the man who did it. 6:20 to play in the game.
Stanley is number 60. Bobby Powers, 95. It's a blitz. Stanley comes off of his man. As you mentioned, the first sack of McDougal all day.
Leonard out of the end zone. He punted. Last one was 43. Hayes coming up, calls fair catch. Mercury Hayes accepts the ball for Michigan at the Notre Dame 45-yard line after a 35-yard punt. Michigan's ball. First down at the Irish 45-yard line. 5 minutes and 42 seconds to play in the game. Notre Dame leading 27-17. Pass down the middle, intended for Toomer, thrown right to Jeff Burris. And that whooshing sound was the air leaving the Michigan balloon.
Here's Toomer right here. He's going to go down and run a square in. Collins is right here. He's just going to back up and wait for the ball. The ball is going to be overthrown because of the linebacker sitting inside. He has to throw it over the linebackers. It's a force. He just tried to force the ball over the linebackers, had to throw it high, and Burris picked it off. He's not covered from that man, but the inside, the two white shirts underneath him are the ones that force the ball to be thrown high.
And so the wrong target for Collins as he throws the errant ball, and with it, the flames may have flickered out. Timeout charge to Notre Dame. 5:29 to play.
This is the problem right here. He has to throw it over Bursic. He may not have been able to see too well from right here, but watch Bursic. He is right on the inside where he wanted to throw it, so he throws it a little high, and behind everything, playing the deep outside, was Burris for the interception.
And the Irish now with a chance to kill a lot of the clock, taking over just inside the Michigan 35-yard line. McDougal keeps the ball on the option and goes down for a couple of yard loss on the play. And here's Jack.
Keith, a long time ago when Lou Holtz, believe it or not, was unemployed, he sat down and he wrote the 107 goals that he would like to attain while he was on Earth. He has attained 95 of them, but the 95th was a close call. This summer, remember the Snake River Canyon? Well, the river that runs through there in Idaho, he went whitewater rafting, was bopped out of the raft, caught his thumb on the rope surrounding it, and he says he just about went under the water for the third time and almost drowned. So when they were asking about these goals, they said, what are you going to do next summer vacation? He said, I think I'll do something safe, like maybe run with the Bulls in Spain.
Yeah, Bulls had a good year in Pamplona this year. Well, his record in the last 22 games against the Big Ten is an eye catcher. Not counting today, it was 21-1.
Really? Michigan's going to have a record stopped also. They have had 19 straight games without a loss.
They were just flim-flammed in the first quarter particularly, and in the second half the defense just clamped down on them, and they didn't do much at all in that first half. Notre Dame in the second half has not done much offensively, but then they haven't had to.
And that's been reflected in the calls that he has made.
Look at what old Hayden's doing down there with that bunch of JUCOs and a bunch of young kids. He got them rolling against Iowa State. Second down and about 13 for Notre Dame. McDougal gives it to Zellers, the fullback, and there's nothing in the middle. Stepping up is Powers. Irons. And a timeout call by Michigan, stopping the clock at 5:12 to play in the ball game. And the games following this one at 3:30. We've got a variety of regional games about the country. Should be looking about to see which one. I suppose even at this late hour you could make a choice on pay-per-view if you're someplace where they're not showing one of those games you want to see. A&M Oklahoma is an interesting ball game. Buckeyes are at home tonight against the Huskies of Washington. The general feeling is that Ohio State's big people, the people in the trenches, both offensively and defensively, among the very best they've had there in years. So it's going to be fun. And one of the hilarious things that you might want to get out on the side of the road and watch for is Jack Arute, as soon as this game is over, is lighting this torch and heading north to East Lansing to work the second half of the Kansas-Michigan State game.
Keith, maybe you and Bob might want to come up. We could fill in for John Spagnola and for Dan Deerdorf.
Have a nice trip.
Thanks.
Dan and John, I'm sure, are very happy, and just say hi for us, and have a sandwich on the way.
I'll handle it for you.
And look out for the fellas in the flat hats. 35-yard line. This kind of stuff will turn your hair gray, Jack. You better watch out. Becton on a fake. Ball is looped downfield for Zellers, and he makes the catch. And is that a big play or what? McDougal with a lofted touch pass to his fullback out of the backfield. Zellers makes the catch. He was pretty well covered, and it picks up a first down.
Well, Lou Holtz had a timeout to think about this play. Good pass protection. I tell you, McDougal has done everything that he's been asked to do today.
The ball is inside the Michigan 20, and it's first down, Notre Dame. Irish leading by 10, time ticking away. McDougal gives it to his fullback Zellers, and he's hit right about the line of scrimmage. But they're now sitting down there in field goal land.
They don't need any more points. They just need to keep the ball and run some time off the clock.
Michigan spins the timeout. And that'll do it. They don't have any remaining. That was the last one. But they had to stop the clock at 4:45 to play in the game. There was a flurry about 5 minutes ago when it looked like they were going to come storming back and get into this thing.
You mentioned earlier, Keith, you were talking about.
Was a killer.
Yeah. Moeller has done a great job, and he really has. He's been the head coach here 3 years, and they've won the Big Ten championship all 3 years, 3 straight Rose Bowls. You know, he took over this program after Bo Schembechler, and it really hasn't missed a beat. And if anything, it's really gone on.
The Chevrolet most valuable players in the ball game for Notre Dame, Kevin McDougal. I think that's pretty obvious, just as it is obvious that Tyrone Wheatley is the choice from Michigan. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund. 23rd year. McDougal 12 of 21 for 209 yards today. He's run for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Wheatley goes for 141. We're not finished yet with 4:45 to play. Second down and 11. Becton turns it back into the 18, and again here is New York.
Keith, Hawaii trying to pull off an upset. 30 yards this time. Gordon has been the story in the game. 3 carries, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns as the Rainbows lead it 21-14. Keith.
I'll guarantee you that would be an upset.
The Rainbows.
That's in Provo, right?
Yes.
Ooh. Notre Dame's going out there, too. That's another one of those places, though, about the 4th quarter, your hip pocket starts weighing about 150 pounds at altitude. Finally, Becton gets it on a late pitch. And he's a tough guy, boy. He goes on down to the 15-yard line, and he took some pretty good licks, but he had that ball put away.
He's been impressive today.
Yes.
66 yards on 17 carries.
The ball is at the 14-yard line. It is 4th down. And here comes the kicking team onto the field for the Irish. Field goal is a door slammer. Kevin Pendergast. He's kicked a 24-yarder. He's kicked a 19-yarder. He came off the soccer team to do the kicking when Hendrick was injured.
Notre Dame calls timeout.
Irish call time. And here's Jack.
Keith, Kevin Pendergast is the kicker this year after he had a great season last year stepping in for the injured Craig Hendrick. But here's the interesting thing. He is a 4-year letterman, not in football, but believe it or not, in soccer. He was recruited by Lou Holtz in 1991 to step in as a backup position. In fact, last year, he literally played on some days both in the soccer game and in the football game. So much so that he was voted the MVP for the soccer team last year. He'd like nothing better than to put it through the uprights today on his way to maybe being voted MVP for the football team in 1993. Who knows? Stranger things have happened.
If he played on Sundays, you got to scoop football. I mean, playing that pro league and then coming to the college game. But he's an outstanding kicker.
He's going to take it over there and give it to him.
Let's see what happens with the field goal now as Pendergast will settle in from the hold from McDougall. The snapper is Lance Johnson. The kick is not terribly authoritative, and he missed it. He missed it. And the time now, 3 minutes and 16 seconds. It is still a 10-point lead, however, for Notre Dame. Can't see anything there. It just didn't get there. Michigan has no timeouts remaining.
Didn't miss it by much.
No.
Keith, you've got a bunch of experience soccer-style kicking. What do you think made him push that ball to the right?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's a little bit like hitting a semi-iron out of 4-inch rough. You can't hit it on the heel. And that's kind of what he did, isn't it? He hit it on the heel. So from the 20, first down, and Collins, who was intercepted last time, throws this one, and he's lucky to get that one back. He threw it right to Brian McGee. So Collins, both times now, that pass and the one previously, the Notre Dame defenders read him exactly right. They knew where the ball was coming. He's looking a long time at his intended man. 16 out of 27, 168 yards and 3 interceptions. Again, it's an Irish defender getting his hand off the ball. Number 21, Bobby Taylor, who had one of the interceptions. A pass intended for Amani Toomer. Michigan players are walking back to the huddle.
Every time Collins has played, he has done well, and this is the first bit of adversity as far as a college player. He was an outstanding high school player and a lot of successes, but it's a tough situation for any quarterback to be in. Down 10 and hard rush.
That's not a first down. Well, Mercury Hayes made the catch, but he was knocked out of bounds a half a yard short of his first down. And at 3 minutes to play, they don't have a choice. They got to go. Wheatley's out there.
And you have to do something to pick up the first down.
Yep.
And pick it up quickly.
Clock stopped at 3:01 to play.
That may be the
huddle over there on the sideline.
Well, they measured.
For some reason.
They put the ball down, then they took a measurement, and the ball was sitting right there.
Holtz is occupying their time. That's what it is. It is 4th down and about a foot. Wheatley, he gets the first down. Tyrone works his way up to about the 34 as they move the chains. The clock will stop, and here again, John.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. Let's update the #1 and #2 team in the nation. Florida State, we knew they were tough on offense. Look at this, 57 points in the fourth quarter, but they're shutting Clemson out as well. Right now, back to you.
Collins throwing the ball into the ground to stop the clock. He had no timeouts to work with. And he stops it at 2 minutes and 52 seconds to play in the ball game.
You know, it is early in the season, Keith, and if the game holds the way it is, these long faces of Michigan, they're not going to like the outcome. But I think it's too early in the season. I think if down the road, if everybody has a loss and Michigan doesn't have any more, they could still be right there at the end of the year.
Spike Dyke's boys are giving Nebraska some trouble. Texas Tech down by only 3. Second down and 10 now as Smith goes in motion. Set up a screen here for Wheatley. There's a first down to the Notre Dame 47-yard line. Clock stops as they move the chains with 2 minutes and 44 seconds to play in the ball game.
And when we say that the clock stops, it stops in college on a first down only for a while until they bring the chains up and get the chain set, and then the referee will mark it ready for play. So it doesn't start with the next snap. It starts when he marks it ready for play, which he just did.
That's why Michigan's at the line of scrimmage, no huddle. Pressure on Collins, pass to Wheatley. Wheatley getting a little help on that side, breaks a tackle, and he's inside the 35-yard line, and another first down.
And another stopped clock.
Got to go quickly here. Wheatley wants to come out of the ball game. He's got to hurry.
There's a look at Wheatley and what he has done today. 319 yards of offense.
He's a great player. Collins pass underneath. Pass good to Smith. And Walter, the junior out of Detroit, will be inside the 30. That is not a first down. The clock will continue to run. Michigan with no timeouts remaining.
See, Gary Moore wants him to stop the clock by throwing it in the ground.
Well, he needs plays, too. He doesn't, well, second down, whatever he's going to do, he needs to do it quickly. Going to the end zone for Mercury Hayes, and it is incomplete, and that's a very good play by guess who? Jeff Burris. Boy, he's really something, isn't he?
He's been everywhere.
Oh, man.
Look at this, a good shot of it here. Both see the ball, both going for the ball. Look at this. Huh? Defensive perspective, that was pretty good right there. I like that one. The throw was excellent behind the defense. Look at that. You talk about an athlete. Good play all around.
Third down and 3 at 1:55 to play in the ball game. It's a 10-point Irish lead at 27-17. Third down and 3. Collins looking, goes down the middle. Got Hayes. First down at the 5-yard line. And the heartbeat quickens amongst the faithful of maize and blue. Big old
quarterback here. You know, do not want to take a sack.
Collins throws it in the corner and throws it out of play. He had a man over there, Smith, but Walter turned back inside. And he effectively throws it away, and now he can look to the sidelines and get a play at second down and goal from the 5-yard line and 1:44 to play in the game. But that man right there, he got him in the first half.
Yep.
Got him in the first quarter. And it took them almost, well, it took them a half, Michigan, to get their balance back. Get back in the hunt. Collins pulls it down, takes off, gets down to about the 3. That gets your clock rolling. I don't think that was a particularly good decision.
That's a tough call. I'd rather see him outside the pocket rolling out where he go throw it.
Yep. Running
play keeps the clock moving.
Wheatley comes back. You got Hayes and Smith on the left side, bottom of the picture, and Toomer on the right. And Collins drops. Better hurry.
Don't take a sack.
He does, all the way back to the 14-yard line. And the clock keeps on rolling.
Inexperience, young quarterback making only his 4th start.
That was Thomas Knight, number 96, that got the quarterback.
Now you got to line up, and this is your 4th down.
4th and 13.
You know, why not kick a field goal here? If you get your group on, you need a field goal and a touchdown.
Hayes wide open. There's your touchdown. But you've burned up over a minute of time. You have very little left.
Well, you've got to go onside kick. He grew up a lot in the last 5 minutes. This young man grew up a lot. There you see it. Wide open, no linebackers. Bursett's not back in the area. Well, what they're talking about here is whether or not to go for 1 or go for 2.
They're going 1 because Ilezovic is out there. Nope, that won't count.
It's a delay of game. If you go for 2, you still go for the onside kick either way. If you go for 2, then you're going for the win. And all you need is a field goal. If you go for 2 and miss it, then you're 4 points down. If you get it on the onside kick, then you need a touchdown.
Well, they've been called back to the sidelines again, almost the entire offensive team. Now they're walking back.
I think the right thing to do is to kick it. Early in the season, if you're coming back from this far behind.
Take your tie.
Take the tie.
Tie's not going to hurt you.
Try the onside kick if you make the field goal. Get the onside kick.
Well, they changed their mind once they had the penalty and the ball comes back out to the 8-yard line. They put Collins in the offensive unit back in, and now they'll try for 2. Nope. Mix up there because Hayes turned inside. Smith was going outside, and the ball wasn't very close to anybody. And it's 27-23, 4-point difference with 34 seconds to play in the ball game. Here's John.
All right, Keith, we told you about the #1 team in the nation. They are cruising. The #2 team, Alabama and the Crimson Tide over Vanderbilt. 17-6 is the final. David Palmer was the story. 8 catches, 217 yards. That is an Alabama school record. Meanwhile, Hawaii and BYU is now tied up 21 apiece in the second quarter. We'll continue to update all of these games. Right now, let's go back to you, Keith.
All right, here you see the story of the ball game, and this one just about in the books because 34 seconds is not much time. Nobody with any timeouts remaining.
Good protection. It's about 7 defensive backs sitting in the end zone. That's a tough pass to complete.
These games will be coming along very shortly. We're about through in Ann Arbor, Michigan, as Notre Dame is about to beat the Michigan Wolverines. They lead 27-23. They went for 2, failed to get it. Both teams have gone to the sidelines to huddle now. Washington and Ohio State will have at it tonight. Washington State was here in Ann Arbor last weekend, so both those schools from the Northwest early in the season making long trips to the Midwest.
Well, you go for the onside kick, and if you get it, then you got a chance to maybe throw a couple of passes to try and get the touchdown. You need a touchdown to win. Holtz has done an outstanding job. He is one of the best sideline coaches around.
Remy Hamilton will kick it off. Mike Miller will be the deep man back there. Lee Beckton is the short man. But you've got receivers and defensive backs and all those kind of people up on the front. And it is Ilezovic who will do the kicking, not Hamilton. You got 2 kickers out there, actually. Got them both out there. One of them is going to hit it.
Yeah, they don't know which way it's going to go with the onside kick.
Both of them run at the ball, and it's Ilezovic. And the ball is knocked loose from number 21, but they're able to cover it. Bobby Taylor had the ball. He took a lick. The ball seemed to squirt Lewis, but still Notre Dame gets possession with 32 seconds to play in the ball game, and all they have to do now is make one snap. And so this old series continues. 88 when Notre Dame and Michigan got together for a game, a couple of games as a matter of fact. They played one on Friday and one on Saturday.
Where was that?
1888.
Well, as we mentioned coming in, these are the two winningest football teams in the country in the history of college football, and only Michigan has a winning record against Notre Dame.
But they put another chip in that today with a first half that was dominating, and the Wolverines just could never get caught up. That's all they need right there. And a penalty flag, well, that's the one thing that can stop the clock, is a penalty. And it does with 24 seconds remaining. Neither team with a timeout remaining. And more football coming for you.
Defensive penalty shouldn't stop it, Keith.
No, it shouldn't.
Offensive will.
Yep. And it is offense. Procedure call against Notre Dame, and that wakes up Lou again. Florida State with a roll against Clemson, 57-0. Pretty good day for Charlie. Down our schedule, we've got Miami and Florida State coming up from Tallahassee, too.
And Florida State will be visiting
October 9.
Notre Dame later on in the year, too.
November. So it's now first down and 15. And that snap gets it going. And this one is headed for the history books. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame came in a 9-point underdog. They've been whirled around in 2-3 weeks of distraction over there, all kinds of travail, but principally involving the coach and not the players. The players held themselves together today, and they won the football game 27-23. Yes, it was an upset.